Hello everybody and welcome. This is Final Fantasy VII PC Any Percent, the free FPS category, which I'll explain as we are watching some cutscenes. But with that, we will get our run started. Don't worry about those save files. They're definitely not going to be relevant whatsoever. With that, I will count in 3, 2, 1, start. So this game is being run specifically on the PC version of the HD remaster. Unfortunately, the glitches which we're going to be taking advantage of for this run don't work in the PC version, or the really important ones don't work in the PS4 version, the Switch version, the Xbox version. Only the PC version works. Because let me tell you, to finish this game in 3 hours, we are going to be breaking it wide open. So the first hour and a half to 2 hours is fairly straightforward. We are going to be doing the entire, or most of the Midgar escape sequence, but we will, things get a little fun after that. The reason this is the free FPS version of the run is because the more competitive version of this, just the straight out any percent, requires us to track our frames per second, making sure that in certain parts of the game they are stuck and trapped at 30 FPS. So I'm not using any of that as it is not my usual setup. So this just means the game's going to run at whatever sequences of FPS that the computer chooses to run it at. We'll see how fast or slow it's kind of running comparatively based on the squat game in Wall Market. If you are doing it at the same FPS, you should always get the same amount of squats in that section. So it'll help give us a little bit of an idea. But right now we are finishing up a last little bit of cutscene, and then we're actually going to start pressing some buttons. I think I'm actually going to name Cloud today. Usually for the speedrun, when naming the characters, we name the majority of the characters just by one character because all of the text scrolls. So any extra letters that you put in the names makes the names longer. So we do not want that. Okay, we've arrived. Newcomer, I can't follow you. I've got menuing to do. Okay, memory active, and then make everything as fast as possible. Perfect. Now it's really important to get both active and memory cursor on. Memory cursor is going to make sure that the game remembers the last command we used in a particular battle, and it's also we want active because it's just faster. There are going to be some specific battles later on, which I will mention, where we are going to be purposely using weight in order to manipulate those battles. I will also try and point out which glitches can be used in all versions and which glitches only work in the PC HD remaster. But first, we have to name our friend here, who was a soldier, not anymore. Let's see if I can do it without adding any extra characters. We did it! Go team! So NASA here doesn't actually care about the names of any of our friends. He's really quite rude. But he's here to do the job and help us out, which is to blow up this reactor. Bad things are happening in the world, and the only way that this team, Avalanche, feels we can stop it is through terrorism. Not sure that's a good idea, but needless to say, we're here. So we're in Sector 7 and trying to blow up the reactor. Let's see if we're successful. I'm sure we are. There is actually step routing in this game. However, I don't tend to use it. I tend to move fairly similarly each time, so it's not an issue. You can get a little bit more precise if you do choose to step route, but I just don't bother with it. First, we have to talk to some friends. They want to help us. They really want to help us, and we're just like, no, not interested, don't care. You're paying me to be here, so let me do my job. Now, the job of some of our friends here is to open doors, and that actually is relevant later, because we are going to have to save one of our characters, and if we don't, we're going to waste time. But first, not only do we have some fun times in an elevator, we get to see one of the cool additions of the HD remaster. Many, if not all of the NPC characters have these wide open mouths. Apparently those were there in the original PlayStation version, but they put some textures over it so you couldn't see, so they were hidden. And someone in their infinite wisdom decided to bring them back for this version. You should thank them, or something. Also, don't keep mashing in this elevator, because you can press the button again and keep going up and down in the elevator. Nobody's got time for that. Instead, we're gonna try and race down these stairs. One of the actual nice set of stairs. Stairs are one of the true bosses in this speedrun. Thankfully, these enemies are letting us leave quite quickly. Through the door we go. Jessie's still ahead of us, though, because she's too powerful. So you're going to see as we're walking through that there's items on the ground, and there's going to be some items we ignore and some items we pick up for multiple different reasons. There is a really strict money route in this game, so we're going to be picking up some very specific items just for the purpose of selling, so we can get that money. There's going to be items we're going to pick up just because they're simply in our way and we have no other choice. Those usually get sold. And there's 1 or 2 materia which we're going to pick up because we need them. Most materia we're going to ignore because we don't use them, and they are worth literally 0 gil or GP until we level them up some, but we're not going to use them, so there's no point. However, this materia here is one of the few we pick up, both because it's in the way and it's useful. We are definitely going to make very good use of that. So in trying to blow up this reactor, it turns out everything is not as it seems. So we are going to plant the bomb and try and get everything set up. But it is not just a reactor. It has set off some alarms, and we have triggered our first boss battle. Let's see. It looks like my ATB is nice, so we might get a fast start here. Nope, we did not. Excellent. That's fine. So we're not going to get our first attack with B. He's using an item instead, which is fine. But the goal here is to get damage. Get damage on B, hopefully. NASA if we have to, because we want to build up limit gauges in this fight. I want to use limits in order to try and do some extra damage. It's very, very rare that you can actually get through this boss fight without hitting the counterattack stage at least once. But we want to have the battle end very shortly after. So thankfully we are going to get an attack on Barret. Let's see if it's enough to get his limit. The status of both Cloud and Barret's limit gauges is going to affect how many times, if at all, we attack the guard scorpion here during the counterattack phase. So we're going to definitely be attacking once. There we go. So that attack we're doing with Cloud is not an accident. We are purposely going to trigger the counterattack. We want that damage. If it's enough to get my limit gauge up on Barret, it'll be the only one we do. Excellent, it is. So now we're just going to wait. The instant the camera starts to turn, away we go. We don't actually need to use Cloud's limit here. It's really of no benefit. All it did was get his ATB gauge up faster. As soon as you build up your limit gauge, your next ATB gauge fills up incredibly fast. So in most cases where we are trying to build up the limit gauge, it is just to get just that faster ATB, get a faster turn. Because many of the things we're going to be doing are either faster or in some cases just safer than doing the limit. And there we go. First boss is down. With not very much help from you, Barret. You know what you did. Perfect, so now we only have 10 minutes to escape this reactor. I'm really not sure how we're gonna manage with that very tiny amount of time, but here's hoping everything works out and we can do it. If we have to hop into the menu at all, it's just not gonna be a fun time for anybody. Thankfully, we don't need to cure. Nothing here can hurt us. I've been at least half the amount of damage, health that we're at right now, and not bothered to cure. And we're too busy to cure. We gotta run. We gotta get out of here. But one thing we definitely want to do is we want to save Jessie here. Because if you walk all the way out and find out that you did not save Jessie, you cannot actually leave the reactor. She opens one of the doors for you. So hot tip, don't leave Jessie behind. You will not like yourself very much. Okay. Get the stairs. Listen, can't these enemies see I'm trying to escape? This place is about to explode. Maybe you folks should be getting out too? Come on. Oop. See, stairs, the real boss. True boss of this game. These aren't even the worst stairs. These stairs are actually easy mode. Stop mashing so I don't take a few billion rides in the elevator. There's Jessie opening our door for us. Thank you, Jessie. You are the true hero of this speedrun. Wow, no one's doing anything. We're just hanging out here. Having a party in this exploding reactor. Nice. We got out with over 8 minutes left on the clock, so that was definitely a good escape. You can absolutely forget to get Jessie, which I have done once or twice in this speedrun. Go back, get her, and still escape with more than 5 minutes on the clock. It is incredibly generous, the amount of time they give you to escape that generator, even casually. There's really nowhere to go other than out. So we have exploded our first reactor. Everyone is so proud, but we're not done exploding things yet. We need to make sure that we can get out and escape. So Shinra, the corporation whose reactor we just exploded, doesn't catch us, because that is bad. So Barret, attempting to be a good leader, decides we should all split up. We're easier to, it's harder to catch us if we're not all together. So, but Cloud doesn't listen to the rules and is going with Barret. And we get our first peek of Eris, our flower girl. Now there's lots of text choices in this game, and unless for some reason, like we have a specific reason, like text scrolling specifically to not select the top option, we are always going to select the top option because it's faster. So once or twice we are going to not, like here. Here is not actually a text option. This is, we don't want to fight these soldiers. We don't have time for that. We're on the run. And they have guns. Like, don't bring a sword to a gunfight or something. But where are we gonna go? We're surrounded. But Cloud, as usual, is not worried. And just hops on a conveniently passing train. Definitely not the one he was supposed to meet up with his friends on. And by friends, I mean paid associates? Perhaps that's not the best term, but definitely not friends. NASA never came. We'll never get our rocket into space this way. Sid's not going to be happy about that. And they're all, look at their faces, they're just all so shocked that Cloud didn't show up. Of course, we're on the run from the law, so they couldn't wait for NASA to show up. They just had to go. But Cloud, in his usual flair, had to come in a very exciting way. And here he is! The team is reunited. Hurrah. Cloud's like, what do you mean dramatic? This is how I always come through doors. And Barret's like, I have to leave, otherwise I'm going to do violence. But Jessie's like, no, safety. Safety first. Okay, we did it. We blew up a reactor. It looks like we have successfully escaped. Hurrah. But we have to spend this time on a train. Thankfully, it's one of the only trains we're going to be on in this game. How is that possible, you say? There's so many trains in this game. Well, you'll see. Of course, the bystanders are all like, oh goodness, who is on my train? Why are you here? There is a skip you can do here. It's frame perfect though, and we're going to be taking advantage of the particular mechanic used for that skip later, where in this game, if you activate a button to press a text box at the same time as a move to activate text box, and that is frame perfect in every circumstance we do it, you can actually move around in sequences where you should be trapped. So we're going to use that to great effect later on in this run. It only saves about 10 seconds, and only if you get it perfectly in this section. You can talk to, if you talk to Jesse and there's a guard below at the same time, you can actually get sweet freedom and can run around. But the instant you have talked to Jesse, there is no backing out. You are trapped out in the sequence. So in most cases, it's not even worth it. The setup time takes up as much time as it would for you to just do the sequence normally. Some of the times we're going to skip, it's mandatory. We have to. It's not just about time save, it's about effect in the game. Okay, so we made it. We have gotten back to regular old Sector 7. Here we are. This is where we hang out. And we're not being suspicious at all. So Barret's super happy that we managed to blow up a reactor, but you know what? That was just one reactor. There are like a total of 8 reactors, I believe, in this in Midgar, and he wants to blow them all up. So we're going to start planning for our next reactor. However, in this this screen right here, everyone likes to collect in front of the 7th heaven, which is the bar which holds our base. So we're going to immediately scroll right out of this screen and come immediately back in, which clears most of the NPCs off the screen. We just have to talk to Barret, and away we go. So this is the 7th heaven. This is where our base of operations is, definitely not from that light shining underneath the cowboy pinball machine. As proven by that and the sign on the wall, Texas exists in some form in this game. How, whether it's fiction or whether Texas is actually a place, who knows? I don't like to ask those questions. So one of the best ways to trigger plot in this game, especially in Midgar, is if you suddenly get control of Cloud and you are in a series of plot, just try and leave. Just try and be grumpy like Cloud and just nope right out, and you'll trigger the plot, basically, without fail. So that's what we tried to do, and unfortunately, all it did was give us more plot. But alas, we're here. We've made it. Let's see if Barret has anything helpful. Also, don't mash while standing on that pinball machine. You, like the elevator, you will just go up and down forever, and that's not fast. Also, don't worry about the person on the TV screen. That's normal to wear a flesh-colored gas mask or something. So we're done talking. Oh no, now Tifa's trying to stop us. We're like, no, we don't care about anything. We don't care about the planet. We just want money. We're a mercenary. There's Texas. There we go, on the wall. But however, this is an RPG at the beginning of the game, so it's time for more cutscenes. So Tifa, turns out, is our childhood friend. We grew up together, and she thinks we made a promise to each other, or that Cloud made a promise to her when we were kids. And so, of course, in true Final Fantasy RPG fashion, she's going to tell us all about it. And of course, since you don't really get time to read anything that's happening, it's just fun to check out some of the assets in this this cutscene. Cloud's feet move really cool in that scene. His hair, I think, is actually taller when he was a child than it is right now, and still just as deadly. And Tifa has adorable shoes, so it's winning for everybody. But this is the well in the middle of their town, Nibelheim, and Cloud is telling us that come that spring, he is going to head to Midgar so he can become a soldier. And from what we've seen so far, it looks like he was pretty successful. He at least tells us he's a soldier, and he wouldn't lie to us, or be mistaken. Also, Cloud has the cutest ponytail. Look at him. So precious. Also, someone came back in this room and has amazing food. It smells really good. Just sit in your houses, assuming there's really good smelling food where you are, and you'll be getting the true speedrunning experience. So the particular promise that was made is that if Tifa is ever in trouble, once Cloud becomes a soldier, he has to come back and protect her and rescue her and all that. And he's like, sure, I can do that? Totally, no problem. Hurrah, promises made and remembered. Now we can try and extort our the other terrorists in this group for more money, because we're a mercenary and we need to pay those bills. Don't ask me what the bills are, but apparently we need lots of money. And Barret needs our help so much, he is going to spend his own daughter's savings. So, I hope you didn't want that education, Marlene. She's a 4-year-old, very adorable. Hopefully finds a way to get schooled later? Don't worry about it. We're saving the planet. That's more important. Okay, so we have a really important skip coming up here, but first we have to get back up to the top floor. So we've negotiated, Cloud is going to stick around for long enough to make it to the next section. So I'm going to pay attention here. Okay, so we did it. We have told Barret, we've called him an idiot, told him he just would not understand Materia and how to use it, and so we got to skip a Materia tutorial, which takes like 3 minutes. Nobody's got time for that. So we've left the 4-year-old in charge of the bar, and we're leaving to blow up reactors. There's just so many examples of great adulthood here. So this run used to be a little bit different. We never used to come up into this room. However, a huge skip was found. It saves like 18 minutes off the previous route. So we absolutely needed to get some more money. So we're going to sell all of those things, and we're going to buy grenades, because grenades are super cool, and yeah, should be enough money. Okay, so with our grenades and our pocket full of a little bit of cash we've got left, we're going to attempt to do a really cool skip. So I'm going to focus up for a minute, because this is actually quite difficult, unlike the, oh, I was just there. Okay. And then we're gonna, okay, perfect. And what we did is we just lined up in such a way, and we wiggled past the guards, which are trying to block our way here. So, Sector 5 reactor, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to Wall Market. And so one thing that Wall Market does right from the get-go is gives us Eris. And it also further brings fuel to the fire of the debate of how do you spell Eris's name? So you'll notice there, her name, it's pre-generated, it's in there, and it's got the TH. When you actually recruit Eris the proper way, go through the church and name her there, the default name that shows in that sequence is Eris with an S. So even within the game proper itself, it spells it both ways. So as far as I'm concerned, whichever way you feel is the correct spelling, you're right. The game tells you you're right. So believe in the dreams. So now that we're here in Wall Market, what we should have seen had we not wiggled our way past some guards was Tifa being carried in to Wall Market on the back of a carriage. And it seems like Don Corneo, the local dollar man and creep of this place, is collecting women and being creepy, and Tifa's there, and we're like, well, let's try and save her. But unfortunately, they're not gonna let anybody into his mansion who is not a woman. So rather than send Eris in alone, which is just a terrible idea, we are going to make Cloud super pretty. But what that requires is a fetch quest. We have to get a series of items in order to make Cloud super pretty, so they will let us in. So first off, we're gonna talk to this Materia Keeper shop, and he just needs to know. They just put in a machine in the inn. He needs to know what's being sold there. He has to. And you know what? Wiggling past guards, that's really hungry work. So we're going to sit and we're going to have some sushi. They want us to pay first. Whatever, that's fine. I'm getting sushi out of the deal. They're frying my sushi, but you know what? It's the special. We'll take it. I'm sure it's fine. For 70 gil, what did I really expect? Okay, here we go. You know what? That was all right. That wasn't bad. So with that, we're going to get a pharmacy coupon, which we're immediately going to spend. because we need some things. So we're going to scare this poor shopkeep because we're not very nice. And we are going to very carefully not select anything on this list other than the digestive, because that would be rip run. And now we just ate a lot of sushi and we're really tired. So we're going to stay the night at the inn. And we're going to buy the 200 gil item at the inn from this mysterious machine. Do we know what it is yet? Nope. Did we just buy it anyways? Yes, we did. Becoming pretty is an important mission. We do not want to fail that. Okay, so we got that. So we're going to bring it back to our lovely companion. But first, we're going to do our first safety save. Usually, I would not be doing this, but this is a marathon run, and I'm about to do a trick which could soft lock. And we ain't got time for that. So we're going to do a safety save just in case. So talking to our pal here, he really doesn't want Eris looking. Doesn't matter that she can hear everything that's happening. And it turns out the inn is selling a protein drink set. How dare they? But for giving that in to our friend here, we have acquired a diamond tiara. So we're doing pretty fabulous on our quest to get pretty. So next up is to get a dress. Unfortunately, it turns out the dressmaker is in a bit of a slump and is hanging out in the bar, as you do. So we're being told that if we can manage to convince the dressmaker to come back, then we can get a dress made. So to the bar we go. Now, there's actually two parts of the fetch quest which we are going to deal with here. And to save some time, I'm going to do them both at the same time. But this is where we get into softlock potential land. So this is all quite precise. So we're going to close this door. We're going to mash text a little bit. So we're looking for the prompt, what? A tough-looking guy like that? Perfect. So we're going to turn back to the door. We're going to open it. We're going to talk to this person here, just because. Don't worry about it. We're going to come back here and mash between the two conversations. We're going to give her the medicine. We're going to wait for the second message to come up. And we're going to scoot our way over near the door, but not out. We want a dress that feels soft and that shimmers. We're going to clear those two messages. We are not going to clear that sexy cologne message, because if you do, Cloud starts walking to the left, hits a table, and keeps attempting to walk left, and you have ripped. But we did it. Not only did we pick up some sexy cologne, we have gotten our silk dress. So we have gotten 3 really excellent items. So we're going to try it on, see how the whole thing looks, see if we are pretty enough to attempt to sneak into Don Corneo's mansion. And Eris takes a peek and is just like, no, we're missing something. So we're told that we can actually get a wig at the gym. So we're going to head to the gym to pick that up. So we are going to talk to the beautiful bro who's going to help us be cute. But we have to beat them in a squat competition. We can only get a wig by doing that. So this is super important, and I am going to take some serious time here because it is very bad if I lose this competition. So I've got the instructions. Okay, you're not getting Big Bro's wig, it's mine. Don't need to practice? Let's do this. The more they mess up, the more leeway I have. Oops. Oh, we did it. Okay, so, and I mentioned earlier we can tell how fast the run is going, how fast our FPS is, generally based on the squats. So we got an 18-21 ratio, and that's usually what I get without messing up. So we're going a little faster than normal, but that's okay. This is free FPS. We don't really care about that. Now, we did acquire the good wig, which is what we were looking for, the blonde wig. And with that, we are ready to go. Look at Cloud. Cloud is now the prettiest, but you know what? Eris is just like, wow, Cloud has a cute dress, where's mine? So decides to pick something of her own, so she can also dress up and be super cute and pretty. So she selects one and reminds everyone not to peek, though she does not seem to give Cloud the same courtesy. Rude. But look at her, she looks fabulous, and Cloud's just like, why am I here? What has my life become? It's okay, Cloud, you're still super pretty. So now that we're the prettiest, it is time. It's time to see if we can get into Don Corneo's mansion. Okay, there we go. And so it turns out we have absolutely succeeded. They're like, wow, your friend? If you had told us your friend was this hot earlier, we would have let you in ages ago. So here we are, Don Corneo's mansion, as creepy as expected. So we've been told, just wait here. We're gonna go do things, and don't leave. And so we promptly leave, because we ain't got time for waiting around. This is a speed run. So here we go. We come into the basement, and we found tea. But Eris is also here, and is like, oh, hey, we found you. I'm assuming you're the friend in question that we're looking for, as they have never met. So they introduce themselves, and Eris just kind of mentions that, you know, I'm here with Cloud. And Tifa's like, oh, what? Where's Cloud? And you're like, hello. And Tifa's like, hold on, how did you get so pretty? Never mind about that. I know you're pretty. Let's talk business. So the reason Tifa is here is she purposely got herself captured or taken, as it were. Don Corneo works closely with Shinra and has information. So she's here on behalf of Avalanche to try and get that information. So we want to find out what Shinra's up to next. According to the storyline, we have now blown up, we blew up one reactor, attempted to blow up the second reactor, got caught, Cloud fell down, fell into the church, recruited Eris, and here we are in Wall Market. It's great. So they're friends now. That's lovely. And we've all been summoned. The ladies have been summoned. And Cloud's like, I guess I don't need to ask who the other girl is. And they're like, you're right. There is no need to ask. So we're going to get that ether, because ethers are one of the more money valued items that we are going to pick up. So we are not going to skip any that we see. We're going to pick up any and all of them. But we can't sell it yet. First off, we have to see who the Dawn thinks is the cutest. It's a win-win situation. All of us are part of the same mission, so no matter who gets selected, we are going to get an opportunity to get that information out of Don Corneo. But for now, we have to wait and see. We know Cloud is pretty, but is Cloud the prettiest? Stay tuned next week on This Healthy Looking Girl. So it turns out Cloud is in fact the prettiest, and we did that on purpose. Like I mentioned earlier, no matter who gets chosen, you still end up with Don Corneo and get the information. However, if either Eris or Tifa gets picked, you have to fight your way out, and you have to fight to rescue the other one who didn't get picked. So we don't have time for that. If we skip that, we go right to the information. Also, for extra levels of creepy, the symbol on Don Corneo's bed means heaven, which I can assure you his bed is likely not. But he asked us if we liked him, and we're like, we can't. We already have someone. His name is Barret. So, but now the jig is up. We have been caught, and we are really putting it to Don Corneo. We need that information. And if you don't talk, rip it off. They really have no holds barred in this section. There's a lot of threats. Don Corneo is not happy whatsoever. And so reveals that Shinra's just done with Avalanche, the terrorist group, and knows that they are currently located in Sector 7. So they're actually going to destroy the pillar that holds up the plate above that sector and destroy everything and everyone underneath. Which, of course, we're not huge fans of. It's terrible. We're killing many, many people just because of this group. So it is now a race to see if we can get back while the pillar is still standing to save all those folks. And, you know, our team who lives there. So we've got some little flash over to Shinra Headquarters. We've got the Prez. First time we're seeing President Shinra, who, wow, could barely get past that pillar. I just noticed that. We've got Reeve, who's trying to say dropping a pillar and killing lots of people is very bad, probably worse than what Avalanche is doing. And President Shinra's like, you look tired, Reeve. You should go have a vacation. And Reeve's like, well, this is unfortunate. And Heydigger just cackled and walked off as, you know, true Heydigger fashion, though we're not going to see much more of that. He's not in this run very much. We don't like Hay Digger. But don't worry, we may have fallen down, but we're home free. We are in a stinky sewer, but we just need to get through this, and we should be able to stop things. But what's that sound I heard? Oh, right, it's the next boss. So this is Apps, a poor little sewer monster who just wanted to hang out and be friends, and we're gonna toss grenades at it. Sorry. This is actually the first fight where we're gonna start using grenades. And they are excellent because you can see that bolt only did 62 points of damage, but that grenade that Eris threw took 143. So not only are grenades ranged, but they just do significantly more damage than we can even pretend to do at this point in the game. So we are in the section of the game which is grenades, grenades, and more grenades, picking up as many things as we can to sell to get even more grenades. So they are incredibly helpful. So if you ever want to play through this game again casually and don't even care about speedrun tricks, all I can tell you is buy grenades. Just your Midgar experience, and some past that, but definitely Midgar will be so much nicer if you just have some of those grenades. Especially for some of those ranged fights at the end of Midgar. Okay, bye Apps. We're really sorry. We're really not. We're sorry you're not immune to grenades. Either way, we have defeated the sewer monster, hopefully in enough time for us to save our friends. We're gonna find out though. So we're not picking up that potion over there. It's too far out of the way. There's enough other things on our route that we don't need them, and that Materia gets to hang out. However, in the next section, I'm going to be picking up basically everything that lies on the ground for selling things. Potions are generally speaking not worth it. You really just can't get the value or much value out of them. But the way I see it, 2 or 3 potions will buy me 1 grenade, so I'm okay with that. So we have escaped the sewers, but now we're in this train graveyard, so we have to find our way out of this first. Thankfully, they gave us a preemptive, so we're okay with that. No, we don't like you, save point. Get out of here. Who puts a save point right next to a ladder? Someone who's terrible at that, too. Okay, so we're getting that high potion. Those are nice to sell. Though we are going to be keeping exactly 1 high potion in our inventory. We need it for a boss much later in this run. We will actually run without it. I sold it by accident exactly once. And let me tell you, I was displeased that run. Please go up that please go up that ramp. Thank you. So I don't really need that potion, but like I say, every little bit helps. So one of the things which didn't translate so well with the HD remake or remaster is anything which happens to be around something that was really nicely CGI'd. So you can see that those trains, the ones we're moving, look amazing. They look crisp and clear and great, but all of the kind of background assets are not having such a good day. But that's okay. We can still use them. But you can always really tell what parts they worked on and what they didn't. So we're really not worried about curing here at all. We're not going to hit enough battles for them to damage us, and we're actually getting a free heal in the next section. So, okay. Hey look, this is where we came from earlier. But there's a little more excitement happening here now. Thankfully, the pillar is still standing, but it looks like a fight is going on at the top, so we haven't saved anything yet. So this, in my opinion, is the hardest set of stairs, or one of the hardest set of stairs in this run to actually get onto. Once you're on the stairs, they're easy, they're just stairs. But let's see if we can make it on them. First though, we need poor Wedge here to fall to his doom. But don't worry, he's fine. Look, he's talking. He's moving. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. So we're asking Eris to look after Wedge, but to also go check in the 7th heaven, which is literally just the screen to the left, and go try and save Marlene. Let's see if we did it. No, we were a little bit too early, but we made it. So we're not checking with any friends this time. We are just running. Also, have you noticed that all of the enemies that Shinra has manufactured all have spikes or propellers, or sometimes both? Someone just really got very bored when they were making these monsters in Shinra. Oh, we can hear that gun. Oh no, back attack. Again, we're not worried about the damage, but back attacks are slow. That was rude. There we go. No, don't go back down the stairs. Stop that, Cloud. Okay, sorry, Jesse, but we're not saving you this time. You're fine on those stairs. Don't worry about it. And look, it's our good friend Barret. We've missed you. So we better equip ourselves before that boss. Nah, we're good. So it's already time for the next boss, and our next boss is going to be the first Turk that we're really interacting in this particular speedrun, and that's Reno. But too late, we have not stopped him. He has pressed the button, which is going to destroy the reactor, and we want to disarm it, but he's like, gonna have to get through me first. Now, my ATBs look okay. No, never mind. He really got on top with that ATB. So, we just need to hit Reno 8 times with grenades, and this battle ends, and he remembers he left the stove on. If you get really great ATBs, comparatively to Reno, you can sometimes get some grenades off before he pyramids someone. And if you're especially lucky, the person he pyramids is someone who has already tossed a grenade at him, making this battle just that little tiny bit faster. But unfortunately, you usually don't get it, and in usual fashion, we did not get it here. But oh look, that's 8 hits. Remembered I left my stove on. Gotta go! And Reno takes off. Toodaloo, Reno. Take that ether. So, and he just hops right off because he's Reno. Okay, she doesn't know how to disarm it. Unfortunately, it's not a normal time bomb, so Cloud also can't disarm it. And hey, look, here's our friend, not actual friend because we haven't seen him before, Seng. He is the leader of the Turks, who we would have been introduced to in the sequence where we recruited Eris originally, but we didn't have time for that. So he showed up with an actual good helicopter pilot. I mention this because there's a not so good one later. And he's finally captured Eris. Shinra is really interested in our friend Eris, and currently we have no idea why. But Seng is being very rude. We don't hit people like that. And their pillar starts to explode, and he and his lovely, well-piloted helicopter get out safely. We're going to run down here by Barret, because Barret likes to run around and do silly things. So if you stand next to him, you can get him going right away. So there's no messing around. We can just escape quickly because, you know, this pillar is exploding. We don't have time to stick around. And we're literally using Barret's arm as a seat, which is amusing. So unfortunately, the information we found was not enough. We may have bought folks some time, but not enough. And the pillar crashes to the ground, killing anyone who had not yet escaped, which includes the majority of Avalanche and, assumedly, Barret's daughter, who we last saw tending the bar at 4 years old. This is a life lesson to you, Barret. Don't leave your 4-year-old daughter to mind the bar. And did you realize that President Shinra is a total creep? Well, if you didn't, the game gives you a really big heads up. He's just watching, opera music playing, just totally chill. Thanks, you monster. And we may not have seen this playground before in this particular run, but it's not having a good day. At all. Somebody did some not very nice things to this. Look at that. We just sat up there. Ugh, rude. So, as they're further demonstrating, Sector 7, not having a good day at all. And Barret, not happy. And he's going to use his fists and his gun arm to attempt to take care of all of this rubble. Not going to have much success there, friend. But this is actually the kind of the first section in the game where Cloud actually acts like he cares about anything other than money. He starts to show actual concern about the fact that Eris has been taken. I have a little fly friend flying around. Why you do that? However, Tifa, the Queen of Information here, advises us that she actually thinks that Marlene got out okay, and that Eris whispered to her from the helicopter that she got Marlene out. So we're like, we don't know where she is, but she's assumedly safe. And Barret, the whole team is really discouraged. It's like, do we keep fighting Shinra? Do we give up? Point taken? Don't know, but Cloud has decided I'm leaving. Whatever. You make your own decisions. I'm out skis. I didn't even have to control him there. He left on his own. Okay. So sometimes you're a little bit ahead of your step route, and in this, we walked like 7 steps to get to the next little cutscene where we re-get Barret and Tifa, and the game was super nice. See, right there, was super nice and gave us an encounter. Rude. And it was our favorite house that shoots missiles. So if you enjoy that house, there you go. There it was. So Cloud is starting to have some headaches and some flashbacks, and is generally speaking not feeling okay at all. Don't be like Cloud. If you're having problems like that, go see a professional, please. We wouldn't have problems with the black materia had Cloud just gone to a doctor. But alas, that's how it goes. Don't worry, black materia is not a problem in this run. So we would have seen this earlier had we not skipped past it, but here's Eris's house. It's very pretty up here, lots of flowers, and we're gonna go a tiny bit out of our way to get that very pricey ether. We need it. Its value is multiple grenades. So we're deciding we're gonna come to Eris's house and see if we can find anything. See if we can find Marlene, see if we can get some information, find out why Shinra even wanted Eris. And so it is time for our next super long cutscene. The summary is that Elmira here, who is Eris's mom, is actually only her adopted mom. And that during the Wutai War, about, 10-ish years ago, she would come to the train station daily, waiting for her husband to come back from war. And so she'd come every day, and every day he wouldn't come. And eventually, one of these days, she saw some other folks. She saw Eris's mom and Eris herself. And unfortunately, they had just escaped from a lab, but Eris's mom was not in very good shape, so she passes away. And it's very sad. But it does mean Elmira gets a daughter out of it, so they get to help each other. So every day she came back, and here we go. There's Eris and her mom. Eris is pretty sad because Mommy's not doing very good. So Eris's mom's final wish is for Elmira to protect her daughter. And so, of course, Elmira's lonely and a good person, so it's like, sure, let's do it. But it wasn't long after that Eris started doing just things that weren't quite in the norm, and that the Turks started showing up. So the first thing is she started talking about, asking her adoptive mom, telling her, don't be sad. Someone you care about has returned to the planet, but it's okay because they're fine. They're with the planet now, which is a good thing. And Elmira was like, okay, kid, whatever. But it turns out her husband had died in the war. So she was quite upset. And then the Turks show up and they're like, you're an ancient, you're special, that gives you powers. And Eris is like, nah, no superpowers, no ancients, you can prove nothing. And for some reason, they didn't just take her and run. I don't question these things. So up until now, she has managed to stay out of the Turks' clutches, but it seems they're making their play now. But luckily for everyone else, Marlene is here and safe, And Omara has more than a few words to say to Barret about that, being like, you just left your 4-year-old in charge of a bar. Who does that? So she's safe and asleep, and we got control again, so as per our usual, we're going to try and leave. But this time we are going to be a little kind. Cloud's going to wait for everyone else, because we can't give up. It sucks that we have to put Marlene in danger, but she's not going to have a planet to live on if we don't stop Shinra. So let's go save Eris. That sounds like a plan. But she's been taken to Shinra Headquarters, and we have no idea how to get there. So the blue text tells us to go to Wall Market. So who am I to argue with blue text? But first, we have to do some shopping. Very important shopping. So let's get rid of those ethers, one of those high potions, both of those, and we're gonna buy more grenades because grenades are fabulous. Okay, we're gonna undershoot a little bit because I need to keep a certain amount of money. We have to do a tiny bit more shopping, but okay, so that is actually our last grenade buy of the game. So those grenades have to last us, so they should be enough, but there's a couple of sections where things could go a little bit astray. So here's hoping that there are no problems and everything's good. This is also going to be the last time we go through the Hell House sequence here, so if you're a fan of those houses that shoot missiles at you, this is the last chance to see them. Nope, I hope you enjoyed it when we saw it earlier, because it's gone now. But we are going to go to Wall Market, because they sell things. Now there's two sets of things we're going to pick up here, and they're thankfully both in the same shop. The plot important item is that we need to buy batteries. Usually you're supposed to go up, climb up near the plate, and find out you need batteries and come back, but we don't have time for that, so we're gonna buy them here. Unfortunately, they only come in packs of 3, so we need to make sure we have 300 gil ready in order to buy those. We're only gonna need 2 of them. So the other item which we picked up was a Mithril Rod, and that's for Eris, and hopefully it's gonna sit in our inventory and we're not even gonna need it. But if we need it and do not have it with us, it is rip run, no replacements, no backups, we're done. So unless you are specifically just doing a PB attempt, you want to pick up that Mithril Rod. So it has been quite a few runs since I've needed it, but I have. There have been runs where I've needed it. So I'll talk about the section where we're going to need it later. So I did mention earlier, we'll talk about glitches and whether they are can be used in which versions. So far, all of the glitches we have done are usable in all versions of the game. So I will, unless I tell you otherwise, assume the glitch is available everywhere. But there are a few ones, the really, really important ones that we take advantage of in this run, which don't work in any other version. So, but for now, we're gonna sit for 30 or 40 seconds and wait for this propeller to do its magic. Super exciting. I know we're all enthralled. Absolutely riveted, in fact. Oh, sweet freedom. I think we're there. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Now we're going to use battery number 2. And now we're going to jump onto this, and I'm going to use a sound cue to do this. And should get it first try, but we'll see. There we go. If you know the sound cue for that, you should never miss it. But I was like everyone else, doing this casually, not knowing the sound cue, the worst. That is the worst thing ever, but the sound cue never changes. So some people do it by visual cue, but I just find the sound cue easier, personally. So with that, we have finished our climb. We have made it to the last part of Midgard, which is Shinra Headquarters. So I don't know what the timer's at right now, but around 1:30, 1:40 is usually the time where we finish with Shinra HQ. So it's not exactly a short place. There's lots of stuff we're gonna do here, but we're gonna have some fun. And the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to lie horribly to Barret once again. So both Barret and Tifa are arguing it's the best way to enter. Barret is like, we're going to buy bust in the front. We're gonna, you know, attack some goons. We got this. And Tifa's like, we should sneak in. That's better. And we tell Barret that we're gonna bust in because it's just faster, and then proceed to lie and go to the left and sneak in. So we are gonna take these stairs. And in some of the other categories, which don't use some of the glitches we're going to use, you can use the elevator, you can go through the front door, and if RNG loves you, it can actually be even faster. But the stairs are more consistent. They will, generally speaking, always be the same time, providing you don't mess something up. And for the purposes of this run, there is an item which I need to pick up in order to use it for a future boss. So please enjoy this, our stairs sequence of the event. We're going to go up more stairs than you ever wanted to see in your life. And Barret is going to complain a lot about it. And Tifa is going to have exactly 0 time and is going to tell Barret off a lot. So it's kind of actually what she does in this game. She tells Barret off a lot. She's just like, nope, Barret, nope, stop. And I'm just going to walk up the stairs. And the scroll, thankfully for me and my poor mashing finger, the text scrolls automatically. So I just get to focus on running up these stairs forever. And so please, it's one of the few sections, one of the only sections of the game where you will actually be able to read the text. So please enjoy. There is actually a minor slur in this section, unfortunately, because the game has not aged well for that. But you have been warned. It was what used to be a very good colloquial insult, and not so much these days. Are we there yet? Nope. There yet? No! Tifa. Tifa, infinitely angry. That's why we love her. And here we go. One of the most important items in the game. We got us an elixir. So we're not going to use that for selling. We're not even going to use that for curing. We're going to use that to destroy a boss later because you know what's fun? Math. And so we have climbed up all of these very many stairs. And this is the point where Tifa remembers that she is wearing either very short shorts or a very short skirt. And very abruptly becomes self-conscious about the fact that we're running behind her. And both Cloud and Barret are like, we're too tired to even care, but you're strong and can really hurt us. So we're going to listen to you and go in front. And then immediately in the next screen, she stops caring again. You're like, okay, Tifa. Again, you could punch me into my grave, so I'm not going to complain. That's Shinra. They're no good. They build buildings too tall. How dare they? We're not even to the top of the building when we get to the top of these stairs. We just get to a good entry point. Marlene, Daddy just wanted to see your face one more time. He's just, if there's no one in this game more over-dramatic than Barret, who we actually get to spend time with. Vincent and Kate Sith have their own moments, but we sadly are not going to get to spend much time with them. However, if you are a Vincent fan, Vincent is one of our key important players in this run, so we will definitely be getting Vincent, so do not fret about that. Kate Sith, on the other hand, is there, kind of, occasionally, but we made it. We survived. We are at the top of this set of stairs. There are going to be more stairs, but not like this. So with that, we're actually going to take a moment to menu. We haven't menued in quite a long time, and there are some things we need to set up, both because we've got a party and because we want to put ourselves into weight. We're going to use that. Actually, come back here. We're going to give, with our newly equipped cure, we're going to make sure we're doing okay because they didn't give us a free cure. And we're going to use weight in order to abuse this battle a little bit. So these enemies only, wow, the back one attacked first. That's cool. They only get to keep their ATB as it is until they lose their armor. And as soon as they lose their armor, their ATB actually resets. And weirdly, they change from big, bulky, armored folks to folks with backwards rollerblades. Don't question it. It's safer for everybody if you just don't question it. But they're really cool backwards rollerblades. We didn't quite get the timing correct, but we're doing fine. We did it! Go team! You destroyed some backwards rollerblade wearing folks. Okay. And we get our first of very many access passes. So we're going to put our config back into active. Running away from battles is way faster when we're in active mode, but I am going to put it back into wait for the next boss fight, as we are similarly going to manipulate it. Also, don't select the first floor and this elevator. You can soft lock yourself doing that. Not that I've done that in a run before. Okay, now I'm actually going to focus up here because this is the set of guards sneaking. One little piece of trivia I will tell you though. Did you know you can only fail the guards sneaking 4 times before it'll automatically pass you through? No reason I know that. Okay, so we're going to do some focus here. I didn't quite get it, so we're just going to take it a little slow. Better to be slow than to get caught. Go. There we go. So we're just gonna, there we go, taking advantage of that. We're taking it safe because if we get caught, we have to actually fight, and that wastes grenades, and I need those. That was almost bad. But we're fine, don't worry about it. Go. Just one more to go. Okay. Got it. Perfect. So no fights. We didn't get caught. I get to save my grenades. And off to the 61st floor. Now, we do need more security badges to continue on. And we just need to literally walk up to this person, say literally nothing, and they hand us their security badge. Don't be this person. Don't be this person. That's bad. But we get access to the 62nd floor, so we're delighted anyways. So what comes up next should be a read the bookcase, get the hints, guess the RNG generated passcode. However, out of the 6 options you're provided, it is always going to be one of 4, and we don't care about the extra item you get for getting it right first try. So it is always faster to just mash through and just until you get the correct option. The 3rd and the 6th options, which I believe are Orb and Hojo, will never be the correct ones. So there we go. Got our next badge, on our way to the next floor. This is one of the silliest, most time-wastingest battle mini games in the game. You know, other than things like snowboarding. We have to go to each of these chests, get a puzzle piece, bring it down to the puzzle and insert it. Now, as long as now in this puzzle here, we insert that first piece we picked up into this first empty space in the front, what happens there is all of the rest of the chests are open. Now, as soon as I open my next chest, all the rest will lock. But what this does mean is I can now open them in any order I wish. I get a piece, go to the next one I want, and then insert it, go into the next one. So there's no order I have to memorize. I just have to memorize what's the first initial chest you have to go to, and what's the first spot you put it in. So other than that, you have to go to all the chests anyway, so as long as you don't go to the one in the stairs until last, you're not going to lose any time. So pick your own order, do it how you like. Okay. Sadly, they do not let you pick up multiple pieces at once. That would actually make this super quick, but no, they make you go back and forth because why? Also, whoever did make this puzzle obviously really loves it because they have even updated it already to show that Sector 7 has been destroyed. Please, please spend your life and our tax dollars doing something more productive than building weird door locking puzzles. Please. Okay, so that is our last part. So once we have inserted it, that last chest will open and we can get our last pass card. Or our next pass card, I should say. I'm not actually sure it's the last. I think it is, though. There we go. And the stairs are right here, so we're just going to take them. It looks like we're here just in time for the executives to have a meeting, but we are sneaking in, so I don't want to get caught. So we're going to do the obvious answer. We're going to climb up into the vents through the toilet. That's what you usually do in this situation, right? Good thing Shinra made really big vents with lots of room for us, all three of us, to fit in. Like, what? So they say a lot of things which don't matter, but most of it is they are looking for the Promised Land because that's where they're going to build Neo Midgar, because the Promised Land is apparently a source of limitless energy, and that is why they need Eris. As an ancient, she knows where the Promised Land is. So, hurrah! And now, to thoroughly ruin our day and be creepy AF, Hojo has joined us and is talking about not even caring about the Promised Land. He just wants to conduct his research on the ancients and things like that, and continues to be creepy. Strangely enough, Hojo could get creepier by having a weird open NPC mouth. So, enjoy? Thankfully, we don't really see much more of Hojo. Or many of the other execs. Remember Palmer, though. We'll definitely be seeing him again, unfortunately. He's actually one of the hardest bosses of this run. Okay, so we've heard all we need to hear. We know that nonsense is going on, and we need to keep going. We haven't saved Eris yet. Okay, so we want to sneak out here. We have to wait. So apparently there's a lot of people in this building who really just don't care about building security, and Hojo is at the top of that list. He even decided to just leave the door open. Always lock your doors behind you, please. But we're going to take advantage of this and follow him up because we need access. So we don't know why, but we're not going to complain. And according to Cloud, this is actually the first time he has ever seen Hojo. Suspicious, but whatever, we trust Cloud. He definitely has an impeccable memory and would definitely know this thing. So here is an example of the best hiding spot ever in existence. So not only can we still see Cloud, the instant that Hojo and his staff member there turn around, they can also see Cloud, but somehow have chosen not to. Let's not question it, but needless to say, don't hide like that. Don't hide like Cloud. Cloud doesn't know how to hide. Not at all. But that's okay, we made it. Phew! We're too good at this. Then Tifa. Don't do it, Tifa. Every time. Don't knock on the glass. Fire puppies are trying to have a nap, and here you are knocking on the glass. Not very nice. And speaking of specimens, here's one hanging out, and it doesn't have a head. I'm sure that's fine. Totally normal. Not weird at all. But Cloud isn't enjoying that. He is once again not having a good time. So somehow he knows that this creature is named Genova and is related somehow to Sephiroth. We're like, okay, cool. Bye, Fire Puppy. We'll talk to you later. We are gonna get this chest. That poison materia is so key. It is so important. We are gonna do a lot with that. Or I wouldn't say a lot. We're gonna do multiple things with that poison materia. One of them is absolutely required, and another one is just going to make a boss fight easier for us. So don't forget to pick that up. You can pick it up on your way back after this upcoming boss fight, but I never remember, so I always pick it up right away. So here we are. We have found Eris. Turns out she's in the sample container, and Hojo, being the absolute creep that he is, has decided, I have 2 endangered species, the last of their kind, here in this specimen thing. What should I do with them? Oh, I know. Let's breed them. Then they won't be endangered anymore. And you're like, Hojo, no. No, stop. See? And of course, Barret does his Barret thing. And you know what solves all problems, according to Barret? Guns. His gun arms, specifically. Thankfully, it actually worked in this case. We didn't break the glass. We let the fire puppy out to absolutely maul Hojo. Good job, fire puppy. We are proud of you. And we saved Eris. Go team. However, it looks like that's not the only things that were below that elevator. So fire puppy apparently can talk, which is really excellent for us. And we're sending T off with Eris. And we're not going to bother renaming Red 13. Every time Red 13 talks, he refers to himself as his real name, Nanaki. So we don't need to bother to rename him. It loses, like, basically no time. So we've once again set up wait here, because we're going to do that technique that we did earlier called wait tricking. Unfortunately, we can't do the quick select on our grenades because those little pill bugs are there. But we want to keep a steady stream of grenades going towards this specimen, because those pill bugs are in the way. They are just doing damage. We don't want them to attack, but there's no point in killing them. They don't do anything to try and stop this battle. So we just ignore them and try and get our specimen here killed as soon as possible. There we go. Battle done. So that is one of those cases where abusing the ATB system can really help you, because those pill bugs are annoying as heck, and they barely attacked at all. So things are good. So now we get Red 13's theme, the Cosmo Canyon theme. We don't need a menu. We don't have time for that. But Red 13's gonna stick with us because he's a pal. We definitely want his help. So, really, we were almost in the elevator game. Also, speaking of weird things that Shinra likes to make, whatever these are. But we don't care, we're leaving. So, we already have the poison materia, so we don't need to pick it up on our way out. But we do need to leave, and unfortunately, there's no elevator on this floor. So, we have to walk all the way down to the 66th floor, so we can use the elevators there. Go team, we made it! Sweet freedom! Uh-oh. So this person just wants to go up, and we immediately accuse him of being a Turk and that it's a trap. That's so rude. To be fair though, he is a Turk and it was a trap. So, we'll take it. So we thought we were home free, but alas, we were not quite sneaky enough, and the Turks have caught us. And we're being brought before the great leader, President Shinra, who is the very person who ordered the plate to be dropped on Sector 7. And we don't know where Eris is again. She's been resecured because she is very important to President Shinra's plan. She is a Cetra, which is the more proper name for an ancient. And he's gonna wax, just so, he's just going. He just wants to talk about his plans, blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares. We just don't like you. You have bad takes and really don't make sense at the end of the day. But we've been captured, so unfortunately, there's very little we can do. Except listen and go sit in our cells, maybe even quietly, though I don't guarantee that one. If there's anything else, talk to my secretary, like rude, please. Okay, so we're gonna go talk to this door here. As soon as it lets me go to the door. And unfortunately for everyone else, we don't really care how they're doing. We just need to check in with Eris, as the plot option, the text option that we need in order to progress the plot is actually underneath the talk to Eris one. So we talk to her, get a bit of details. We're like, okay, since we're all here, what is the promised land? Can you actually find it? She's like, I don't know. And we're like, okay, cool, whatever. So the plan is hopefully escape, sit here, be chill, Everyone else gets a friend in their cell except for Eris. She's too important, so gets to sit there alone. So she does admit that she can speak with the planet, but it's not like speaking to another person. It doesn't necessarily speak in words, more concepts, impressions. So she's heard of the Promised Land, but she doesn't know where it is either. So we've talked, things are good. Let's just get some sleep. We've had a hard day. We've done so many things. We blew up reactors, lost our friends, snuck into this headquarters. Let's just take a nap. There's nothing better to do. Cloud's nice, though, and decides to kind of kip on the floor there and gives Tifa the bed. Now, here comes one of the worst cases of micromanaging I've ever seen in my life. So here we have Cloud, who's like, oh, hey, the door's open. Let me check out what's happening. Oh, hey, the guard's passed out. Let me pass this information along. So Tifa wakes up, and she's like, what happened? Oh, the door's open. Let's go outside and check it out. So we go outside. Oh, hey, there's something wrong with this guard. Okay, cool. I just checked that and told you that, but whatever. So we get a pass card, so let's go free Barret here. Hey, Barret, he's like, something's wrong. Hey, the door's open. Let's go check it out. It's like, please, we've done this twice. Do we need to do this a third time? I know you all want to be the leader, but we've already checked this. Let's just keep going, friends. But we're going to take our team, and we're going to see what is actually happening. There's creepy music playing, but I'm sure everything's fine. It's just, sometimes you have those mechanical errors, and doors just open. And gumball machines are around. You know how it goes. And sometimes there's just blood and dead bodies all over the floor. Also, totally normal. Don't worry about it. So Red's here and wants to give us some very helpful information, but you know what? We have already noticed that there is a discernible pattern here in the blood, so we're going to follow it. That's way more fun. That's, oh, so close. Why do you do this to us, random encounters? Aha! Take that. Aw, you actually hit me. Rude. Wow. That top enemy just... Shinra... Enemies that can't hit you aren't very effective. I hope you understand that. We're going to break the rules a little bit and not follow the path down because we don't need to follow no rules. So, President Shinra's having a bit of a bad day. He is currently dead. And the sword which was left in him is identified as by Cloud as the Masamune, which is Sephiroth's sword. And he thought that Sephiroth was dead, so this is news that it's here. And oh, hey, hi Palmer. So if we had just locked Palmer away here or done something with him here, we would have a lot less problems later. But alas, he escapes. So we're going to have some problems later. So you remember how I mentioned about helicopter piloting earlier? Keep an eye on the helicopter in this section. Someone who was not piloting Seng's helicopter is piloting this one. I tend to think it's Palmer. What a crew. So here's Rufus Shinra. He is the son of the now dead President Shinra, making him the new president. So in his eyes, his father used to rule and kind of lead people through bribes, money, just being a terrible person. And Rufus is like, no, I'm going to do this better. I'm going to rule through fear. And you're like, well, excellent. That is such good news. I'm so happy to hear about the start of your tenure. And Cloud's like, you got to get Eris out of here. You should all leave. This is bad, like very bad. Like this Shinra is actually competent, unlike his father. So it is time to get out. But Eris is like, but we can't leave NASA. We can't leave NASA behind. And Tifa's like, don't worry about it. I'll hang back. I'll wait. You folks get out of here. Okay, and do we want to, and we're going to remove some equipment there because it's actually faster to remove it and equip it later than it is to leave it on. Okay, here we go. So we're in the elevator. That means we're home free, right? Nope, once again, we are not home free. But unlike many of us who have gotten to this fight casually, we have grenades. So now that we've selected our grenades, we're just going to hold confirm to win. the one thing we're going to be keeping an eye on will be Eris's HP levels. We need her to survive this battle. It is absolutely imperative. It will be rip run if she dies. So the only curing that we have is her limit gauge. So it is almost full. So if she gets hit, it will be full, so we'll be fine. So, but I am going to be watching it because I would rather lose a tiny bit of time healing everybody and keeping Eris alive than to have her die and have this entire run go away. That was rude. See? It's there already. And look how fast the ATB gauge is filled up. So nice. Tossing all of these grenades, and we're still in wait mode, which is actually accidental, but not a really big deal. We can change it. Change it later, not in battle, sadly. So, part 1 of this series of battles is done. Now it is time for part 2. But again, this is a ranged fight, but we have our grenades, which are ranged weapons, so we're not really concerned. That was rude. That was unfortunate. Well, here's hoping everything goes fine. Because Eris is asleep. I will note I did get an extra elixir, so I may use it if things go not great. So backup I usually can't guarantee to have though. Oh yeah, we're gonna... Oh, she's awake. Never mind. And she's poisoned, so that's generally speaking not good. I have had Eris die in this battle, so I'm being particularly careful, especially... I would have let it go a little further, but she's poisoned, so... There we go. She's all lined up to toss her grenades now. That wasn't very nice. So we actually don't care if Barret or Red 13 die. It's no big deal. And nobody died, so we're good. Eris would have been fine, but... better safe than sorry in a marathon run. So of our little boss rush here, that is one done. And we're not gonna bother, we're good. This is a short fight, so it's not a big deal if it's still on wait. So we are actually going to fight Rufus. So first off, he comes equipped with a very cute puppy named Dark Nation, and we just don't have time for this. Dark Nation likes to buff up Rufus, and that is problematic. So first things first, goodbye puppy. Why are these not working lately? Grenades are supposed to one-shot kill Dark Nation there, and lately have not been. Which is rude. Okay, Tulu, Dark Nation. There we go. There we go. Now, watch the helicopter in the back. It makes me giggle all the time. You're just like, we had a totally still one earlier, and now we have the joyride in the background. So we're fine. Thankfully, we only have to hit Rufus with grenades 4 times, and then Rufus also remembers that he left the stove on. Oh look, gotta go. Left that stove on. Also look at his eyes. That's one of the weird things that came out of the HD remaster as well. Yuffie's eyes, who we will also see later, are the exact same. Okay, so we did it. Go team. But first, we're gonna do a quick menu here. So we're gonna go back to active. We're gonna put our Materia back on because I like Materia. And we're gonna use some magic because just in the off chance I get a random encounter. Probably won't, but you know what? It's been a while since I saved, so... And speaking of being the while since we saved last, let's do a safety save. We're right here. Let's get it done. Okay, done. Perfect. So Tifa's still very nice and waiting for us, and we couldn't beat Rufus. So that's fine. We're just gonna escape. That's the main thing. So Barret almost gets to live his dreams of busting out the front door this time, and unfortunately, it's still no good. There's still way too many enemies. So the party is trying to think of a better way to get out, and then Tifa just shows up and like, don't worry about that, follow me. We've got a plan. And you're like, a plan, you say? So please enjoy this beautiful cutscene. I remember when this game came out, it looked so good, and it actually looks not awful comparatively to the gameplay, but yeah, the game hasn't aged super well. So it is time for everybody's favorite minigame. We are gonna play with some motorcycles and a truck with 3 wheels. Don't worry about it. It's actually a common design in Japan, so. We're in Midgal's place. It's the name on the side of the truck. Don't know if it's a misspelling or that was actually the name of the company that used this truck. Alas, it is done. So, it is time for motorcycles. Now, we have an actual strategy here. We are aiming to get a certain amount of motorcycles behind us. We want 3 red ones because each color of motorcycle has a different AI. So we've got 2 already. That's fabulous, actually. As long as we don't get a non-red one, which, excellent, this is really good. So the AI for these red motorcycles is as long as Cloud is swinging his sword, they're going to stay behind him because they're terrified. They are very scared of Cloud and they don't want to mess with him. So back there, they're going to stay. So I'm just going to sit here mashing. Unfortunately, I do actually have to mash because if you go off even a little bit, they can overtake you and try and get the truck, and then you have to try and corral them back. But I don't want to deal with damage. We have a boss fight coming up immediately after this set of motorcycles. Now this sequence and what colors of motorcycles you get is completely RNG. You can start off and get 3 right off the bat, or you can actually never get 3, or you can get close to 3 and then accidentally get some killed. That's always the worst one. You kill one of the other colors because you can only have 3 motorcycles up at a time. So if you have any other color that's not red, you gotta kill the extras. You must kill the spare. So yeah, also fun little tips and tricks to take into your casual game, if that's a thing you enjoy. A lot of my favorite speedrun strats are literally just understanding how the game works, so you don't even have to glitch out. You're just taking advantage of the system, which is exactly what we're doing here. I don't even need to move. It's great because this turn is awful. Okay, so they're gonna disappear in a moment because we have almost, there we go, we've reached our boss. And I don't want to get hit by him, he's coming up. Hey, we were just in front of them. Okay, now, we have reached the end of the line, quite literally, and we're gonna fight this boss named Motorball. Now, can everyone count with me? Because we have to do some counting. Our numbers are 5, 4, and 4. And I'll explain that as we go, but it is important that I keep track. So those are going to be the number of attacks. We're going to be trying to avoid some counterattacks from Motorball here. So we want to do bolt, grenade, grenade. So that's 1. If everything goes as planned, 2. We should not have to cure. 2. 2. So we're on 2s. It's gonna look a little scary, but we'll be okay. 3. 3. 3. So again, this counting is really important, but we're gonna manipulate this boss so hard. So we're not counting hits, we're counting getting the attacks started even. So that's 4, 4, and 4. So we just need 1 more attack, and we want it to come from Cloud. Oop. Took my finger off the button slightly too early, but we're fine. So now I'm just gonna sit here and wait. So the instant we see the boss start to transform, we're back on track, we can start attacking again. But by setting it up like that, we actually avoid the boss's attack, which did you know was a counterattack? So that saves us from dying and have to worry about curing. Delays enough so we can do just enough damage to kill Motorball. So there we go. With that, that is the last boss of Midgar. We are at least halfway through this run. And we are going to start doing some magical things. One of our next glitches is coming up, and this is, again, one that you can do in any of the versions. So it's called Barret Skip, and what we're going to be trying to do is we're going to try and activate, frame perfectly, a press a button to talk text box, which we're going to get from Barret. At the same time, we try and exit Midgar, which is a movement activated text box. So we want to get those at the same time. And that's going to let us leave early. And we do need to do this, well, and we're going to keep trying until we make it. Ideally, it shouldn't take long. So let's see how we go here. No, we're going to stay here for a bit. Okay. Yeah, she's safe. Don't worry about it. Yep, she's still safe. Don't worry about it. You'll know when we get it because the text box goes a little wonky, like that. Then, let's go! Yeah, don't worry about it. No, get out. Bye. So we noped out of there. They could have kept talking, but we don't have time for that. We have now escaped. We are on the world map. So we are going to our first town, our first location, and you know what? I'm getting a little iffy. We're getting away through this run. We're gonna save again. Let's just be safe here. Marathon safety. So we've made it to Calm. We are gonna have some story time, which I know everybody loves. Story time is the best. But first, we have to do some shopping. We can't have story time without shopping. Okay, hello. I wish to buy your finest everything. But first, we're gonna sell these because we don't need any of them. They're just worth money. So, and then everything else on tints. Cool. So we're just buying, these are safety items for the most part. Many of them you're not even gonna see me use. We'll just see if things get bad, but some of them are actually going to be very critically important to upcoming boss fights. But first, we have arrived late to story time, but I'm not sure how we can be late when we're the one telling the story. So that's fine. Here we are. So the story that's being told is how NASA met Sephiroth and how he is related to this, how he knows who Sephiroth is, can identify the sword. And the story started 5 years ago. And as you can see by those windshield wipers, it's raining really hard. So this party has been sent here in order to, we want to kill some monsters, there's an infestation, and we want to make sure everything is working just fine at the Mako reactor, which is in this town of Nibelheim. So, Cloud can't settle down though, has to do some squats. Everything's just great. One of the poor troopers is not doing so well, very motion sick, as you do. So we're about to actually do a fight with a dragon, and there's no fear of us actually losing this fight. It doesn't happen. However, there is some RNG involved to try and get the fastest fight. So this dragon, we want it to attack Sephiroth, and if it doesn't and it attacks Cloud, it's going to kill Cloud. And in that circumstance, we want Sephiroth to be the heartless jerk that we know he is and to ignore the poor dead Cloud. So let's see what happens. There's nothing I have to do. Cloud has 140 HP. He's not helpful here. Excellent. So we got the first option, which is just attack Sephiroth, who is infinitely stronger than I am and handles things great. So, likes to explain how strong Sephiroth is. He was just tagging along, but they wanted to check things out. And, you know, of course, this is his hometown. And this is where everything changed. So Sephiroth likes to talk for a while. We don't really care. He's laughing. We're not sure what's funny. Don't worry about it. Okay, now my favorite part. Whee! We did it. Go team. And Barret, of course, he has so many questions, infinite questions. So he likes just popping into the story and being like, I have these questions. And Tifa's like, Barret, you're going to sit down, you're going to be quiet, and you're going to save your questions for the end. And Barrett's like, but I have so many questions. And Tifa's like, no. So back to story time we go. Barret soothed for now. So we're waiting for our little trooper friend. Hey, trooper friend, you're going to be our lookout. And we've been told we're allowed to visit our family and friends, but you know what? We're not here for that. Being a soldier, serious business, so we're just going to talk with Sephiroth instead. And you know what else we're going to do? Our mission's really early. We're tired. We're going to take a nap. So, because here in the morning, we are going to be meeting up with our guide. We have a local guide here. We're going to talk to Sephiroth to get everything started. Now that we're out of Midgar, the way to trigger the plot isn't always to just leave, sadly. So, of course, the townsfolk really want a picture. They're just like, oh my god, Sephiroth, the celebrity is here. Can we get a picture? And he's like, fine. It's not like I'm going to do anything terrible to this town later. Also, has anyone noticed that on the gate to Shinra Mansion there's literally a meteor? The meteor that is in the logo for Final Fantasy VII is literally on the gate to Shinra Mansion. How on the nose is that? Like, please. I never noticed that playing it casually, but once you start playing this game through like 60 plus times, you start noticing things like that. Okay, so into the mountains we go. We are checking once again for monsters, but also now it's time to check the reactor. It is bad news if those explode. So we're going to follow our ever wonderful guide Tifa, and she is in the cutest cowgirl outfit because it seems that her fascination with cowboys in Texas started from a younger age. So we're going to try and run from this random encounter, but sometimes Sephiroth just outspeeds them and kills everything, which is not bad. Also, Cloud just takes a while to fall. He's just like, I'm going to slide down this bridge. We're okay. Oh god, we're falling. That's what happens. Don't put like multiple people on a bridge at a time, especially an old one like this. It's just a poor idea. Okay. So Sephiroth here is like, it may sound cruel, but the one person we appear to be missing, we're going to have to leave them. This is so critical, we don't even have time to look for our, coworker, which seems a little harsh, but okay, you're the boss. Apparently none of the rest of us are going to argue with you. And while giving us some backstory, it decides we're going to try and teach you about some world building. So this is the section where they try and explain Materia and how it's related to Mako. Because this is a Mako fountain, and what should be in the middle of it but a piece of Materia. A natural materia, which is why it's crystalline in nature and not rounded. I'm assuming it gets processed to become circular. Sephiroth finds humor in everything, apparently. Such an easygoing person. Look at him. So the quest continues. Tifa's our guide, but Sephiroth's in the lead, and that's probably for the best with all the monsters that are up here. And now the next hardest series of stairs in the game. Trying to get on these stairs is annoying. Okay, let's see if we do it. We did it. Go team. And so Cloud's like, Tifa, you have to wait here. And Sephiroth's like, no, this is proprietary confidential information. If you don't work for Shinra, you're not coming in here. And she's like, ah, phooey. So away we go. Now, since we did just have an encounter, we're going to leave the reactor immediately. and then go back in, because Sephiroth walks really slow. So by doing that, we're unloading him, and he'll be in the room when we get there. Don't worry about it. Okay. Because otherwise you have to walk behind him and wait, and we don't have time for that. So it looks like we found the reason for the malfunction. It's a valve, and Sephiroth was right in front of it, but he decides, since we're coming along, we're gonna make ourselves useful. So makes us close the valve. Cool, sounds good. And it seems one of the problems is it looks like they are actually using the Mako all around this reactor to make monsters. That's cool. That definitely doesn't change your life view or anything. Especially since these monsters used to be human. So, needless to say, Cloud is a little creeped out by that. And Sephiroth also does not appear to be taking it very well at all. Yeah, don't just draw out your sword in a place filled with wires and pipes and lots of, you know, expensive, dangerous equipment, Sephiroth. That's just, look what you did. It's a bad idea. But at least when apparently you're corrupted by Mako, you get really fabulous looking leggings? Let's just not question it. Am I human? We don't like to question. So this is the point where, for casual gamers, you get a chance to save, take a breath, maybe get a drink. Nah, we ain't got time for that. Keep talking. We don't want to save. We need more story. So it turns out us going into Nibelheim is really where everything goes very wrong. Look at the meteor again on that gate. So weird. Okay, so Sephiroth went into the Shinra mansion and hasn't come out yet. So as the other soldier on this mission, it's Cloud's duty apparently to go and fetch him. I wouldn't want his job. Okay. And this is like the best set of stairs in the game. Zooming down we go. Everything would be so much easier if you could just recruit Vincent right here. But alas. So it turns out that Sephiroth is hiding in the basement, and he's found a whole bunch of research. So he's decided he's going to start reading it. And I'm sure nothing could possibly go wrong. Power is education. Education is excellent. We want that. So he's learning about Genova and the Genova project and Professor Gast. And so we're not sticking around. Things are not going super well, so we're just going to kind of leave it. Sephiroth didn't come out of the Shinra mansion. He stayed there forever. He continued to read as if he were possessed by something, and not once did the light in the basement go out. But he did manage to haul literally every book off of the shelves, and didn't even put them back when he was done. You're gonna have to organize those later, Sephiroth. Or will you? Also, I just noticed those comforters clash with the carpet. They did not worry about interior design for this place. Okay, so everything's good. There's just vaguely creepy music, but you know what? Sometimes you just sleep on the wrong side of the bed and you wake up and ominous music is playing. I wouldn't worry about it. So in here we go, to creepy evil laughing. Don't worry about it. I'm sure that's also fine. And immediately Sephiroth calls us a traitor. So things are not going so well. So in all of his reading, Sephiroth has learned all about Genova and that she was apparently an ancient who was around 2,000 years ago and who was betrayed by the humans, and the Cetra are actually the protectors of the planets. And oh, and yeah, let's not forget, Genova's his mother. So that means, according to all this information, Sephiroth is also an ancient. So he has decided he is going to take vengeance for his mother, for his race, and the music got a lot creepier. I'm sure things are fine. I mean, what could Sephiroth possibly do in these couple of minutes that we have been separated? Okay, the guard's gone. No big deal. Sure, it could be worse. And he lit the entire town on fire. Excellent. Just what we were waiting for. Okay, so there's one person who appears to be okay. That poor trooper, though, just hanging out in front of this random house. They're not doing so well. I'm sure they're fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, so Sephiroth has not just lit the town on fire. He is actually attacking people and doing terrible, awful, awful things. Thanks, Sephiroth. You're a real pal. So it looks like his next destination is to go back to the Mako reactor, and we of course are going to follow him because he needs to be stopped. Thankfully, they do these stairs for me. I have to navigate the reactor myself, though. They can't do all the work for me. Okay, and so Tifa is not very happy. Her father has been killed, assumedly by Sephiroth, but Sephiroth left his sword behind. Not very smart. Tifa's gonna take that and do something with it. I'm sure it'll be fine. Oh, just hit the mic. Apologize. Unfortunately, Tifa put all of her ranks into punching and not into swords, so this did not go very well. Especially not that sword. Like, that sword is very powerful. Okay. So, see, we came back. We promised that we'd be back if she was ever in trouble. So here we are. Didn't really save her, but at least we can get her off the stairs. We're good people. Go us. So Sephiroth is here and being totally, totally creepy. Which I'm gonna let you folks watch. And I will be right back. As soon as we get to the cutscene. Cloud has to try and attack first, though. And we return more terrible than before. Not quite as terrible as Sephiroth, but pretty close. So I am going to give a flashing warning here. There is going to be a lot of flashing here in just a moment. You miss absolutely nothing during that sequence, and here it is. So look away if you have problems with any sort of flashing or bright lights. And it's done. And that is also the end of the story. And everyone's like, what do you mean that's the end of the story? That can't possibly be the end of the story. According to this story, Tifa's dead. Sephiroth is just hanging out. He's not dead at all. And they're like, no? Okay, so we're sending Barret off. He wants to keep talking if you let him. He'll talk for quite a long time. And Tifa's like, how did I get out of that? By that story, I was not in good shape. And Cloud's like, don't ask me. So now we are truly getting the important equipment here. We just got us a cell phone. Go team. So with that, this run is going to start picking up because I'm sure you're looking at the estimate and going, how? We just left Calm. How are we going to finish this game in 3 hours or potentially less? Well, my friends, stick around. The beginning of the first half of the run is fun and all, but this is where the run starts to get magical. We have to get through some random encounters first. Okay, so first up, we're not catching any chocobos. We don't have time for that. We also don't have time for these random encounters. Please. We just want to be friends. Okay, there's a snake over there. We're not even going to worry about it, but we are going to save because this snake hurts us very badly, and we don't like that. So we're going to... There is a trick to do this in one go, and we're not going to do that. We're going to do the slightly slower but actually safer method, where if you go, you save in the middle and then reload your save. The snake is moved to further across the screen, and you get to keep going. Bye, snake. Never catch me. Okay, trying to avoid a cutscene here. I think we did it. We did it! Go team! That does mean I'm going to have to attempt to skip the cutscene later, but that's a problem for later in the run. So here we are, the Mithril Mines, and who should be waiting for us but the Turks? We managed to escape Midgar and get out, and we took Eris with us, though she's not with us right now. But the Turks aren't done. They are accompanying the president and taking them around. Also, welcome. Everyone say hello to the new Turk, Elena. I hope you like her a lot. She's going to work very hard, and this is going to be the only time you see her. So if you do enjoy Elena, say hi and bye, and tell her she did a great job, because she told us where we need to go. She made sure that we understood that they are going to Junon Harbor. They gave us the blue text and everything, so that obviously means that's where we have to go next. And Seng decides to up the creepiness a little bit and be like, oh, Eris isn't with you? Give her my regards. You're like, no. No, we won't. You kidnapped her and hit her. Rude. Okay, you know what, though? I'm just not feeling Junon Harbor. If I go to Junon Harbor, then I'm going to have to do the parade. I'm going to have to be on TV. I ain't got time for that. So you know what I like a lot more than Junon Harbor? I like Storytime. Storytime's fabulous. So I think we're going to do it again. But you know what? We don't need shopping this time. We're fine. Shopping just means less time for story time, so we're going to hop right to it. So did you know Cloud used to be in Soldier with Sephiroth? Because we definitely didn't just see this 20 minutes ago. But what this means is by doing story time again, we have to fight this dragon again. So once again, for those who may not have been with us the first time, we are looking for one of two possible scenarios. We either want A, the dragon to just ignore puny, tiny Cloud and to attack Sephiroth, In the case that that does not work, then we want Sephiroth to show us once again that he is a heartless monster and to leave Cloud dead on the ground. So anything but those two scenarios is slow, and we don't want to see it. So, but it is all RNG, so let's just see what happens. Hopefully, we will be lucky. I mean, if I was a dragon, I just wouldn't want to come out in the rain again. Look at all that rain coming down. Oh no, it found us. Okay, so we want to attack Sephiroth. Attack Sephiroth. Attack Sephiroth. That's not attacking Sephiroth. Okay, Sephiroth, be heartless. No! No! You're not listening to any of this, Sephiroth. Now, dragon, don't attack Cloud. Okay. Sephiroth, be heartless. Well, everyone, you're getting to see terrible RNG live and on screen in a marathon. This could keep going for a while. Every time the dragon hits Cloud, it is a chance for Sephiroth to not attack the dragon and to pretend he has a heart by using life too. Thankfully, the dragon decided to it was just bored. Killing Cloud was too easy. So it tried to attack Sephiroth instead, so we finally escaped. Go team. Barret still has a lot of questions, but we're going to treat them with as much reverence as we did last time, which is to ignore them completely and make him feel bad for having questions in the first place. Sephiroth's still very amused, as you should be. Okay, let's do it. Whee! Listen, we didn't wait a minute last time, Barret. We're not doing it this time either. So once again, we're being told, hey, we gotta rest. Our guide will be ready in the morning, blah, blah, blah. Go visit your friends and family. And once again, Cloud, being the lovely individual that he is, doesn't want to do that. We're going for a nap. Sleep time's better. Who doesn't want to sleep? I mean, come on. Yeah, let's get some sleep. That sounds great. Now, we're going to do something a little bit different this time. We got our picture last time. It wasn't so cool. It wasn't as neat as they made it out to be. We're going to try and trigger something instead. And what we're trying to do here is called picture skip. So it is the exact same concept that we did, darn it, a moment ago with Barret Skip. We are trying to activate a press to talk. Oh, excellent. A press to talk message at the same time as we get a move to get a text box. And by getting them both up at the same time, we're able to walk in a time where we should not be able to walk. And I'm sure nothing weird's going to happen here. I'm sure it's totally normal and expected behavior. We just get to skip that whole cutscene. So that's nice. We like that. But you know what? Last time we were here, this time on the bridge didn't go so well. It looks stable, but it's really not. So you know what? I'm not doing this. I am not doing it this time, and you can't make me. We're going to hang out here instead, and oh no, Cloud's by himself. Well, I'm sure it's fine. Don't worry about it. He's got 140 HP. That's like, I don't know, 139 more than he needs? Never mind. Okay, so picture the whole story time just didn't go out so well, so maybe we will go to Junon Harbor. I'm sure the parade will be easier this time. We got this. We just have to remember the buttons to press. We'll get our salute. Everything will be fabulous. But first, we're going to hang out in Fort Condor a bit, because it's cool around here. And you know what? Let's fight this encounter. I'm just in a mood. Thankfully, we still have all those grenades left. Ah, take that. It's funny that we're fighting birds around Fort Condor. Okay, birds down. And now we're back in Nibelheim. So this is one of the glitches which is only available in the PC HD remaster version. So it can be Steam or otherwise, but this does not work in PlayStation. This does not work in like the PS4 or anything version. So we what we did is we confused the game. In this version, they tried to remove, and did remove, the disc system. So because there's no discs, it doesn't need discs. So instead, it tried to make it one flowing game. But in doing that, they kind of mucked things around a bit and confused the game a lot. Okay, hold a sec. I have to pay attention. This is a very important menu. Okay, that's good. We want to do that. Get the back row. Eris, 29, beautiful. You're wonderful. Keep being amazing. Okay, we want to equip some things. You've got lightning and restore. You have poison. This is where we need poison. Very, very important. We're gonna use that cure right now. And we're gonna just quickly do some, actually, we're gonna use some of those tranks we got. They mean we're gonna take less damage, which is super important, and we're gonna range by type. And finally, we're gonna save. Okay, so we're gonna now kill a boss with math, so wish me luck. This is very particular, so I'm gonna focus up here. Okay, in order to continue with this battle and to make it work, we need to poison this boss. So nothing is gonna work until we poison the boss. Oh, no, Eris needs to be alive. Super important. Nope. Good try, Red. This battle can actually get really scary the longer it holds on. Yeah, got it. Don't kill her. We need her alive and not limited. Okay, now, why we needed Eris not to die is we need her, very, very importantly, to attack for 13 points of damage. Exactly 13 points of damage, and you're gonna kill her. That is so bad. She didn't get a chance to attack. So this is why we safety save. Sometimes your luck just does not work out, and you have to do that battle again. So we're gonna continue mathing. Bio. Oh, no. So sometimes that boss Materia Keeper starts with an ability called Trine, which is what it just did. And at our levels, that is an insta-kill move. We just can't win or recover, so you just Alt F4 and start again. Good. Get that elixir ready. And don't worry, I'll explain the warping. We'll be doing it again. That is not the last warp you're gonna see. So, potion. There we go. So it's very, very, very critically important that we have this boss poisoned for this battle, and I'll explain why once it's done. There we go. Now, providing nothing goes wrong, we're good here. Wow, that was rude. Wow. Well, good thing we don't need him now, I don't think. No, we don't. We're fine. Bye. So what we did is we purposely manipulated Materia Keeper's HP in order to get him into the Lucky 7 status, which is any character who has 7777 HP will attack for 7777 damage. And poison damage is determined by what your attack is. So if you are in Lucky 7 status, your poison damage will do all 7. So you kill yourself with poison damage. So we just killed that boss with math. Now, the warping, to go back to that previous explanation, is we die as part of an event cutscene where it should actually be impossible to die. And by doing so, we load a new save. The game still thinks we're at the previous event. So we go, we fight a battle, and then when we finish that battle, the game is just like, where do I put them? Okay, they were at this event last. I'm going to put them back there. And so that's what happens. You get put immediately right back into the last place it remembers you, which in this case was Nibelheim. So we're going to put some tranks on. We're just doing a little bit of pre-work here to make things easier. We're going to do some menuing inside Rocket Town, but welcome everybody. We are now in Rocket Town. Hey look, there's a cool rocket. And you know who can tell us why they made a rocket like that and why it's hanging out? This person. So we're gonna talk to this fellow, and we're gonna take a look. Literally, we're gonna take a look at this rocket. So for listening to his story and appreciating the rocket with him, he gives us a sword. And we really want that sword. And we also want this stack of high potions. So now that we have all those, we can finish doing our equipping. Okay, we want to put on that counterattack materia we just got. Very useful. We have the Yoshiyuki. And what's so special about the Yoshiyuki is it will get stronger for every ally who's in our party who is currently dead. So don't worry about it. I'm sure our party members are going to be no, they're not. I'm going to be killing party members. So we are going to do some not total party kills. We're going to be doing some character killing in order to make Cloud super strong, but not yet. First, we have to get through a series of cutscenes, and we apparently are looking for the tiny Bronco because we need it to go places. The game hasn't explained them to us, so whatever, just go with it. The moral of the story is, or the end game here is getting that plane. So we're being told by Shinra that if we want to do anything with that plane, we are going to have to talk to Sid, its owner. So here we go. We're going to go talk to Sid. Now, Sid is only in we can only actually access this section if we've gone into the house first. If you try and go to the rocket first, the door will be closed, which is super unfortunate. But I've definitely made that mistake in runs multiple times. So don't do that. Love yourself more than trying to talk to Sid too soon. So for anyone who likes Sid, yes, we are going to recruit Sid. And we're going to leave his name alone too because, frankly, we're not going to be playing for long enough with Sid to really lose any amount of time with him saying his name. We just have to mash through his explanation. So he's super sad because this rocket was going to be launched into space. He was going to get to go into space, but it had problems, and now his only hope is to talk to the president, and hopefully the president will be like, space exploration is awesome. Of course I will fund fixing this rocket and getting you into space. I'm sure Rufus is totally into space exploration, Sid. I'm sure your hopes and dreams are not going to be destroyed by the new president. That doesn't sound like his motive, his modus operandi at all. I also love that Rocket Town has the wall market music. Okay, so we did do a safety save outside before we came in here, but I have just hit the point of no return for this upcoming boss battle. As soon as you have walked into this house and triggered Shinra talking to you, you are no longer able to leave. You will get no chance of any sort of saving control until after the boss battle. So if you want a safety save for this battle, you want to do it there. So I'm not particularly worried about this, so I save outside because if you die at this boss, you lose 8 minutes because of all this running around you have to do, even when you save at that last possible point. So an extra minute or two on top of that is really nothing, and I don't expect to die, so we should be fine. I say I should knock on some wood. Where's some wood? So now we're getting more story time, but this is about Sid's attempt to get into the space exploration racket. But something's going wrong. Shinra is advising him, is still in the rocket section where she will be burned to an absolute crisp if she is still there when the rocket goes off. But according to her, there is a problem and it needs to be fixed, and the launch will not be successful if it's not fixed. But we're just about to do the 30-second countdown to liftoff. So poor Sid here has to make the decision between not being a murderer and actually, you know, making it into space. So let's see what he's going to do. Hopefully, he's going to be a good human being and, you know, not kill her. And spoilers, we've seen she's in his house. We know she's not dead. So that is the reason that he treats her so rudely, which, by the way, is no excuse. Just because she was trying to save your life, don't be so rude. Don't live with her if it's such a problem, please. Okay, so the rocket was just getting ready to launch. And unfortunately, it was one of those points of no return, so they stopped it, but it came right back down. They don't have enough fuel to go again, and thankfully it didn't fall the whole way, and it just kind of stuck there. And that is where it lives today. So I'm not going to lie to you, we're not going to see that section, so it's fine. It turns out Shinra actually saved his launch after all, because it would not have worked. And hey, here's Palmer! We love Palmer! No, we don't like Palmer. Palmer is terrible. So Sid, of course, is excited. He's like, oh yes, the president's here. So ready. Don't pay attention to how Palmer has his tea. It's a little terrifying. So hey, it's President Rufus. We haven't seen you in like a second. And he, of course, he wants the airship or the plane, because we're all looking for Sephiroth currently. He has been leading us on quite a merry chase, rumored, like apparently. But I don't believe them. I haven't seen any Sephiroth, so all I know is that I want this plane, and I don't want Palmer to have it, because Palmer is a jerk. But Palmer is also kind of rude and not a very nice fight. As I mentioned near the beginning of the run, I consider this to be one of the last hard runs of the game. We're going to do some safety here, maybe. Do you get poisoned? Yeah, never mind. No, we don't need safety. We need grenades. And we already have a dead body. Excellent. The goal of this fight is to get Palmer poisoned so he can be hurting himself. Because pretty soon we're going to have 2 dead party members, and all Cloud is going to be able to do is sit and cure and hopefully counterattack. What are you going to do? No, you're... Bye. Nice seeing you. We're not gonna risk it. Probably could have risked it, but we're fine. As you can see, Palmer does too much damage to be able to sit and not cure. But again, between the poison and our counterattack materia, if Cloud actually hits him, we're fine. Unfortunately, he doesn't actually like to hit Palmer very much, which is unfortunate. If the battle goes on for long enough, Palmer does eventually run out of MP, and we can use our limit, but ideally the fight doesn't even go on that long. He dies before he gets a chance to run out of MP. So Cloud is already doing as much damage as a grenade would, so that's fabulous. Slam! You can see why this fight is a little bit scary if you're not really used to what you're doing. We're gonna risk it. He may have just run out of MP. We might be... Yep, he's not attacking. He literally has one move, and it takes MP. So if he runs out of MP, he literally will just stand there and let you kill him. But it's okay. He's dead. Goodbye, Palmer. I also realized mid-fight, I left that fight in active, which is faster, but not something I usually do. So much for marathon safety, but we did it. Go team. And we didn't have to kill Palmer. His own truck did. Do-do-do, doodle-do. Go team, we did it. So with Palmer dead, we are gonna steal the plane. Because there's no other word for it. Sid's not here, so it's our plane now. And don't ask who's piloting this plane, we don't know. Who's driving? Bear's driving. Do, do, do. I'm always curious as to how this plane actually started with nobody in it. Sid must have had auto start. Just beep beep. Also, things you probably didn't realize, Sid can run faster than a plane. That's why we want him in our party. Also, Sid has some choice lines in this this cutscene. Hold on to your drawers and don't piss in them. Well, thanks, Sid. Thank you. Thankfully, we're landing in water, so who would know? Sploosh. But it's okay. We made it with the plane. Rufus Shinra did not get the plane, and we do. And we need it. Very desperately. Why do we need it, you ask? Well, I'm sure they'll tell us. So as far as we can tell, in our chase for Sephiroth, he has actually gone to the Temple of the Ancients. They told us literally 3 times in a row with blue text that we're supposed to be going to the Temple of the Ancients. So we're definitely going there. Absolutely. That's what we did last time. We definitely love following the blue text. So one of the interesting parts about learning this run was actually just knowing exactly where to navigate with this plane. It's easier said than done, I find, especially if you're not going in the intended route, which we're definitely doing. Taking the intended route, I mean. I love it. It's just a calm little boat ride. And by boat ride, I mean plane ride. Okay, and we have finally made it to our destination. We're back at Midgar. Cool. I'm sure no one will steal our plane while we're gone. Now, this is a section of the game where I'm going to be a little more cautious with keeping Cloud cured up because I'm dragging 2 dead bodies around. So if Cloud dies, that's it. We're dead. We don't have much leeway. So we don't need to be in Midgar, so we're just bypassing it. As we skipped out of it the way we did, if we were to go back into Midgar, we'd have to deal with that cutscene again, and we don't have time for that. We just need to go. So dodging the Midgar Zolom just one time didn't really feel like enough. So we're here and are going to do it again. Takes way too much time to get Chocobo lure and Materias and get a Chocobo. We ain't got time for that. So we're gonna do the same thing we did earlier. Oh, look, he's close by. I always save though because it's really actually tricky. He has to be quite a ways away from you in order to save properly. Are we gonna make it across? I'm gonna try it. Oh, we made it. I didn't even know you could do that, but we didn't even save. We just went for it. Sometimes you get that lucky. There is actually a method to do it, so you know for sure, but it's tricky. So we have to try and skip this cutscene again. So let's see if we can do it this time again. I think we did it. Yeah. Now we don't need to try and skip that again because we're done. We are done at the beginning of the Mithril Mines. Oh, are we getting the crabs? There's a set of crabs in here. There they are. They look just, as far as I'm concerned, these are the crabs in the crab battle video. Like, they're terrifying. Look at those claws. Look at those massive claws. Okay, so we're gonna go a little further this time, but I'm gonna be honest, not much further. This forest over here is looking cool, but you know what? Just keep an eye on it. Don't worry about that forest for right now, because we're done with that forest. And you know what? We didn't like Junon Harbor earlier. We don't like Temple of the Ancients now. But you know what we do like? Like a whole bunch? We like motorcycles. So let's go have some fun with motorcycles. And we get to see that rocking cutscene again. Okay, thanks for going ahead, Barret. We appreciate it. So once again, we have Tifa, who's gonna come to our rescue and like, yeah, you can't go through the front door, but we have a plan. Come with us. I love this music, it's so great. Okay, so we're gonna watch this cutscene, and I hope everyone remembers how we played this last time. We are looking for 3 red motorcycles. Each of the motorcycle colors has a different AI. So we want those 3 reds in order to manipulate them. As long as Cloud is swinging his sword, they will stay behind us. So let's see if we can get just as lucky this time, and whether we can get 3 right from the get-go, or whether we're gonna have to kill some of the opposition, as it were. Okay, we're ready to go. Let's jump right onto the highway in a very safe and not suspension damaging move. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so let's see if we get lucky here. I'm sure we will. When has RNG ever led us astray? Okay, there's 1 red. Aw, we only got 1 red this time. Rude. That's fine. We're doing great. So hopefully everyone's having a good day. Hey, blue one, come back here. You're supposed to attack that car. Don't you hate it when you can't manipulate the enemies to do the correct thing? That's it. Get out of here. I don't like you. You're not going to attack them properly. Aw, look. As I'm sure you can guess, we are not doing the same thing as last time. We are purposely trying to get them to attack this truck. But this side of the truck, as this is the side that both Tifa and Barret are on. Will you stop? Sometimes you get ones with bad AIs, though. Stop it. Stop it. Nobody likes you. This is why no one likes you, blue bike. There we go. See, we're gonna hang out over here, like this. No, over here. No, stop it. There we go, that's a little better. No, don't get in Cloud's way. There we go. That's what we're looking for, ish. Corralling these things is a pain. Such a pain. Stop that, you're on the wrong side. Nobody likes this. There we go. There we go. Move over against the wall. The wall is where the fun people hang. There we go. Tifa's dead. Listen, this is dead body percent. Excellent! They killed themselves. Now, Cloud wants to play now too. No, Cloud wants to play. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're at the end of the motorway, a boss is chasing behind us, and 2 of my party members are basically dead. I'm sure we're fine. It's not like anything could possibly go wrong here. Okay, now we're fine. Well, hey, Barret survived! That's annoying. You're supposed to be dead, Barret. Way to be a team player. Barret, please. Barret, this is why no one likes you. That's a lie. We all love you, Barret. Okay, cool. Motorball doing the good work. Thank you, Motorball. I mean, oh no, we died. Definitely completely not intended. So, I cannot see the chat. However, we are going to get you involved, chat. We are starting a guessing game. We are now looking for the ever-elusive Yuffie. This is the first forest past the Mithril mines, and so this is the first forest where you can possibly get Yuffie. There's a 1 in 8 chance of getting her, so any guess below 10 is not bad. Anything below 20 is kind of mean, and any guess above 20 is just cruel. My current personal best for how many times it has taken me to find Yuffie is 25. So we're 1 down. I will do the job of counting. Chat, you get your guesses in. I cannot confirm myself which of you will be correct, but I'm sure you'll know your guesses. If your guess goes by without Yuffie showing up, feel free to do a new one. There's no prizes. You will see me curing after basically every battle, because some of these battles don't want to let you run away, and you get much closer to dying than you want to be, and I don't want to be dying. So that's 2. My guess is going to be 4, because I'm optimistic. There's no particular motion in this forest that matters, just being in any forest. So for those of you asking, is this the correct forest? Yes. Do any of the forests have a different Yuffie find chance? No, it's completely random. And because we had to reset in order to do our warping around, there's no step route for this point in the game. You are just on a hope and a dream, hoping RNG will like you. So that's 3. Let's see if my lucky number 4 is going to be in there. I just like spinning because it keeps me entertained. Nope. You can tell by how the camera pans in as to whether it's going to be the Yuffie fight or not. We're going to take a risk on that hit. So it wasn't 4. My new guess is 7, because I like 7. To anyone else who guessed 7, we're going to share. That is the one that looks like it's Yuffie and is never Yuffie. She has a unique pan. So it's not 4. Let's see if it's... I think I changed my number before we even got to 4. Anyways. Nope. So it's not... I think this is 5. I lose track on the numbers easily, so we're going to say this is 5. Okay, we're going to cure first. I have 10s in case, you know, so I won't run out of MP. Okay, come on. 6. You're going to be our pal and give us Yuffie. Nope. You're the fake out. Okay. Come on, that lucky number 7. Nope. My new guess is 9, because I'm trying to be optimistic. Oh yay, they didn't attack me. How nice. But let's see if it's 8. Because again, it is technically a 1 in 8 chance. Nope. Why do you fight me like this? Okay, come on, 9. Nope, not 9. My new number is gonna be 13. Come on, 10 though. I would like 10, That would be lovely. Nope, not 10. Come on, 11. I have gotten first try Yuffie before, and that felt excellent, but this is a marathon. We're not going to get good Yuffie luck. Okay, it's not 11. Or was it 10? I'm going to say it was 11. I'm sure someone in chat is counting properly. Oh, no, wait. No, that's the fake one, so it's not 12. Sometimes Cloud will counter. We don't want that particularly. Okay, let's use our last. I have a tent, so I'll use that next. So I think that was 12, so let's see if it's 13. Come on, lucky number 13. Nope. Oh, we're doing so good, everyone. Look at how fabulous this is going. 15? Let's be optimistic here. No, come on. Get back in there. Come on, 14. Not 14. It's gonna be so exciting when she does show up. I'm gonna be very happy. Okay, come on, 15. We're gonna run out of Final Fantasies after this. Nope. 21 is my new guess, but I'm hoping I'm wrong. Okay. I'd be totally happy if 16 was the correct one. Nope. I like how the bodies change position when you get a back attack. Okay, 17 perhaps? Not 17. Heart is broken. Are we gonna get a new marathon PB? Okay. See if it's 18. Nope, still a faker. Uh-oh. We're fine. See how close that got? That's why we cure. Okay, 19. Come on. Nope. Not 19 either. Yuffie hates marathons. Have I mentioned that in the past? Hates them. Okay, come on, 20. She's very shy. Nope, not 20 either. Do, do, do. Okay, come on, 21. Still not 21. Okay, 25 is my PB for Yuffie attempts, so that'll be my next guess, and hopefully I get it before there. That's the sort of PB you don't want. How many times it took you to find Yuffie? Okay, let's see if 22 is gonna be our time. Pretty sure, no, it's not it. So 22 is not our number, but we did get to run away quickly, so that's happy. 23 was my old PB. Yuffie, please. Okay, not 23. Come on, sweet 24. Ugh. So we're just about to tie with my Yuffie PB. Good, excellent. Okay, 25. Don't let me down, Yuffie. We need you. Come hang out with these lovely people. Nope. It's a new PB, everybody. Thanks, Marathons. Yeah. Okay, let's see how high we go. I'm just gonna stop guessing. Yuffie will show up when she's ready. We'll keep counting though. I have people in my chat who like to guess both 42 and 48. Oh, here we go. Of course, 26. It's our Yuffie number for this time. Yuffie, I got some bad news for you, friend. Also, if you get a chance to look at her eyes, do. They're very creepy. Wow. That was rude, Yuffie. This is actually not great. Do I have something to cure that? This is kind of not good, actually. Speaking of marathon, I've never had that happen before. I've never been turned into a frog in the Yuffie battle before. Oh, thank God. Ugh. I was like, I need to not be a frog for this coming battle. So, welcome. We are back to Motorball. You thought he was dead? He's back. And I want to say he's worse than ever, but he's not. He's only got 2,600. Wow, he did crit me, though. He's only got 2,600 HP, and we have a lot of hurtiness for him, so this isn't going to take long. But I am going to have to cure because I'm literally almost dead. Please don't kill me. Well, we just died. That's unfortunate. Marathon luck. So, we get to find Yuffie again, which is not fun at all. So hopefully it doesn't take 26 times. This is what I get for telling staff that my estimate was greatly padded. Thankfully, dying... Oh my God, we got first try Yuffie. No, we didn't. I was very excited. The pen... don't break my heart like this game. So thankfully, dying at Motorball there still counts as dying at Motorball. And even if we die in this section, we can pick it up again, but no one wants to do that, so... Okay, so that's 2. RNG. What makes your runs cry forever? The payoff will be worth it But the game is feeling shy and not wanting to show off. So that was 3. Okay, that was 4. That's 5. That's 6. The worst case scenario for me would be having numbers high enough to make it up to some of the joke guesses that my chat usually makes. That would be unfortunate. Come on, Yuffie, you hid once. There's no reason to do it again. Don't want to forget to cure. That'll just end poorly. I think that was 6, 7. So yes, anyone who doesn't like a lot of RNG, there she is. And that's 8. Anyone who doesn't like a lot of RNG in their run should not play this game. Or this category, I should say. Because Yuffie is known. She's just here to ruin runs. Everyone's runs. There we go. Take 2. Now, Motorball. Let's you and I have a conversation. Since we came here with actually close to full HP this time, we might not even need to cure. We may, but probably not. Probably gonna do it for safety, because I'm not finding Yuffie again. We're not doing it. I refuse. And that's what counterattack is for. Go. I think we only have 1 hit left, maybe 2. Wow, Motorbell is having some transforming fun there. There we go. Goodbye to Motorball, take 2. You tried to kill us once. You did actually kill us the second time, but this time, you're toast. And with that, we have finished Midgar. Again. So this is going to have some really fun effects on the run. But first, we are going to have to try and escape Midgar again, and we are going to have to use Barret Skip a second time. Failure to do Barret Skip to leave Midgar does result in a soft lock a little later in the run, so you do not want to risk that. You want to get that Barret Skip. Thankfully, this one is generally speaking easier than picture skip, so. Still didn't get it, but it's still easier. There we go. I don't know. Let's go! Bye, everybody. So we're gonna do a quick cure while we're here, because things be hurty. But some nice soul left us a plane right outside of Midgar for us, so we're gonna take it. Like the terrible thieves we are. So we're going to use it to access places that really should not be accessible at this point of the game. And we're actually very close to the end of the run. We have about 15 minutes max. And then 15-20 minutes and we should be completely done. I could give a better estimate if I had my splits, but we are near the end, so if you thought that, oh no, we're near the end, all the magic is done, there's still so much more magic in this run. This run is for the glitch lover in all of us. If you don't like glitches, this is really not your sort of run. So all of that warping we've been doing, either with the, manipulating out of bounds or with Yuffie, can all only be done in the PC HD remaster. I'm playing on the Steam version, but you can do it on any of the PC HD remasters. You just cannot do it on the other versions of the HD remaster. Okay, so we're going to make a quick stop here. Right now, I cannot move my controller. We're just sitting ducks. Yes, I am playing on a Super Nintendo controller. But we're not soft locked. We just need to come here so the game kind of has to think about where we are. And it's like, this may sound cruel, but we're going to leave that lost person behind. I'm like, okay, Sephiroth, from wherever you are. We have to clear that conversation out of memory. That is soft lock potential if we don't, in the big glitch we're about to do. So definitely do not forget to go in there. And I safety saved outside because you actually, if I died after doing that, it wouldn't count as me having done it and would still soft lock. So we are looking for one more battle, but the odds on this are much better. But there are enemies here with instant death, and we don't need to fight them. We just need to run away, and this is not the battle we are looking for. So these are flat beats. We need a battle with one of these and 3 enemies called Spencers. And once we get those, we're going to be a-okay. And again, we don't even need to fight them. We just need to run away. So we're just going to try and get battles, and we're going to immediately run away. And there's the golden saucer. It's the only time we're going to see it this run, so. Nope. Oh, but thank goodness it's a preemptive, because those are the enemies that can potentially just insta-kill you. And we don't have time for that. We have things to do. As you can tell, I like turning around. It's a fun way to just move the camera, keep you from getting bored. Is this it? It's the right pan. No, it's not the right pan. It's the wrong pan. I don't want to play ball here today. That's very rude. We're going to just use a tent. Thankfully, we also have more space to run around in. But it does have to be in this zone. Nope. But we're getting really good running away, so we'll take it. Come on, that's the one. This is the fight we were looking for, so we're just running. We don't need to fight it. Actually, I think it's better that we don't. And you know what? We've been working really hard here. I think we've earned a walk along the beach. So we're just gonna hang out here on the beach for a bit, enjoying those lovely waves, pull out our beach chairs from the plane, you know, get a bit of a tan. We are, however, gonna fight whatever's here. They really don't like Braver. for Red and Barret. At least they're getting a really good nap. Okay, we did it. So, after our lovely walk in the beach comes the debug room. Welcome, everybody. So, we are going to get Vincent because he's super important. And we're going to go talk to some friends here. So, hey, Yuffie, you were really mean to us earlier, but we're going to have some conversations now and make it better. So, debug rooms are rooms that the programmers put in the game so they can test features. And they used to, back in the day, just hide them away once they were done with them. And some lovely people actually found a way to get them again. So get access to that room. So we're taking full advantage of this. We want to put you in the front row, and so we're going to do some convenient equipping. That went a little weird, but don't worry about it. So don't worry about that convenient Venus Gospel and ultimate weapons there. That's some... Okay, now we really do not want that counterattack materia, but we do want that double cut materia desperately. And we're gonna go back. Vincent gets a little bit different gear. He is doing some very special things for us. And we are going to talk here. And we're a little low leveled though, so we're going to fight some triangles for fun and profit. And we specifically really don't like the top triangle. It did something really mean to us. If you kill first any triangle but the top one, you end up having to fight all of the triangles. So do yourself a favor if you're hanging out in the debug room and do that. So that wasn't quite enough experience for us, so we're going to come again. Good, and we want Vincent to be the one to do the final hit here. As you may have noticed, we did not equip the Vincent's ultimate weapon on him. And the reason for that is because all the ultimate weapons do not have any materia leveling up. So we needed to level up that steel materia to get it to full power. And now we're going to talk to good old Tifa here, who is going to take us to Genova at the end of the game. So we are at the last boss rush of the game. We're going to fight Genova, and then we're going to fight 3 versions of Sephiroth. So, and don't worry about the reactor exploding. That's totally normal for this part of the game, right? So I'll explain the cutscenes, but let me just fight Genova first. Okay, so 1, 2... 3. So yeah, the reason it's bringing up the wrong cutscenes is even though they did officially take out the disk system, the reference system they're using for what cutscenes they should be using still kind of uses that disk system, or at least those references. And so it still thinks we're on the equivalent of disk 1. So when it tries to go for a particular cutscene, it's going to grab that one, but the version of it which is on disk 1. So if it's looking for cutscene number 6, it's going to get cutscene number 6, just disk 1 instead of disk 3. So all the cutscenes are a little weird. And so the reason we wanted to make sure to level up that steel materia for Vincent was to give him the mug command. Now there's a glitch in this game where any enemy who is the final hit on that enemy is they're killed by the mug. It activates a glitch which cancels all animations, which is why that Genova died so fast. And we're going to use that to a great extent, a few different spots here in this final sequence, but we have to build our party again. No, get out of there. We're done with that. Okay, let's go. Also, you'll note, we did not go to the Temple of the Ancients, so even though we didn't see her, and we don't see her flying around there, Eris was actually able to be slotted into our party. She just doesn't work for the particular setup we're trying to do, but Eris, totally fine. Any rumors of to her health otherwise are greatly overstated. Don't worry about them. Okay, so we are gonna fight Sephiroth, the first Bizarro Sephiroth. Sometimes when you're using the mug glitch though, the game gets a little confused, so things get a little delayed. So we're gonna wait for Bizarro Energy, which was not that. Because we don't want to start hitting him and then have him cure. Also, I want everyone to try and remember from when they played this game previously, if you played this game previously, how long it took Bizarro Sephiroth to die at the end of this battle. Because let me tell you, we're not going to have that problem. Bye. So the music's going to get a little confused here because we mug glitched out of the battle, so the game is trying to be like, what am I doing? Where am I going? Hello? So then it goes back, and then we get one Wing Angel. So this is our second last fight. Oh, this is what we want. So we're gonna get that ready. Come on, Sephiroth. We have to debarrier that wall. We do not want to deal with it. Okay. We are probably not going to hear any of the lyrics for One Wing Angel, but we might. There's a little bit of a delay there getting that wall off, so who knows? Not going to hear many of them, though. Nope. They're gone. So that's the end of that Sephiroth. So we are nearing the end of the run. We have mere minutes left. All we have is final Sephiroth, and the important thing to note about the mug glitch is that it is currently still active. And in this final fight with Sephiroth, when you usually come here, no matter what you do, whether you choose to use Omni Slash or whether you sit there and do nothing and just counter, you are going to use Omni Slash on Sephiroth. However, we currently have the mug glitch active. And because it's active, if we choose to use Omni Slash, of course it's going to work as intended. But that's not what we do in this speedrun. We do something a little less exciting. I promise you, this is completely anticlimactic, but time is on final hit to Sephiroth, and I promise there's only going to be one. We gotta let that limit gauge, so we're not even going to press any buttons. We're just going to let the controller hang out here with us. And time. The game is done. What I like to do, if this game doesn't like not being the main screen, so if you Alt-Tab out just while Sephiroth is moving his head up, he'll do some neat things. So thank you everyone for having me. We still got a really excellent time under estimate because this is a good PC and was running it at a fast FPS. So thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching this. I hope the amount of time it took me to find Yuffie and the subsequent death after that did not scare you away from wanting to learn this run. It is super fun. It's just an absolute delight to play, and you can show your friends that you can finish Final Fantasy VII in less than 3 hours. So thank you so much to NASA for having me, and enjoy the rest of the marathon.